talkSPORT Sports Update with NordVPN. Encrypt your internet connection and protect your devices from malware and hackers with our most advanced VPN.
We do headlines at 1 minute past 10. I'm Nick Ellaby. Good morning. Former Spurs boss Tim Sherwood's told us Roberto De Zerbi's put himself under pressure to take the side back into Europe. Following back-to-back 17th place finishes, Sherwood says it's right Spurs have splurged £350 million this summer.
But it's encouraging that the club are just letting the manager get on with it. I can think of a lot of old ex-managers who would love to have the investment what this man's getting. You know, they're really helping him out. You know, they're splashing the cash left, right and centre. Spurs
host Newcastle tomorrow evening. You can watch Jamie O'Hara struggle through that on the Game Day phone-in live on the talkSPORT YouTube. Danny Welbeck has thanked Chelsea fans for helping him settle in there. He scored on debut in a 2-0 win over Luton in the Carabao Cup. Enzo wasn't even in the squad. We're told Man City are confident of signing him before Tuesday night's deadline. Now, embarrassed and mortified is how Derek McInnes is feeling after Rangers failed to reach the Conference League group stages.
When the performance isn't on point, you've got to show so much more on the other side of the game, and that's communication and winning challenges and getting to second balls and just playing against your direct opponent and trying to kind of come out the other side of it until you get a foothold in the game. And we were sadly lacking all that.
McInnes speaking to Rangers TV there after they lost on penalties to Jablonec in the Czech Republic. Conference League and Europa League draws are this lunchtime. And as Moses Atama continues his rise to the top of heavyweight boxing, former super featherweight world champion Barry Jones tells us Filip Hrgović is Atama's toughest test yet.
He's not the fastest, Hrgović, but he has a solid left-hand jab. His right hand chops down. And for a fighter who likes to come in low, that's a problem. And also his timing and his judgment of distance is exceptional for a big guy.
With the vacant IBF World Heavyweight title on the line, Moses Atama faces Hrgović live on talkSPORT Fight Night tomorrow from 9 p.m.
talkSPORT News.
200 extra police are being deployed to Middlesbrough after 9 people have been killed in the past week. And the Prime Minister promises to tackle cowboy builders. Sinead has more in half an hour.
talkSPORT weather with QuickFit. Sort your new tyres this summer at a time that suits you best from the comfort of your home or work 7 days a week with our mobile tyre fitting service. Conditions apply.
Heavy rain affecting parts of Scotland and northern England. Showers and sunny spells elsewhere. Breezy, average temperatures. And at Lords we should get plenty of cricket, but some showers expected mid-afternoon.
There's that. Next March, the England cricket team face Australia in the 150th anniversary Test match down under. And as always, the Barmy Army will be there. And thanks to talkSPORT, Visit Victoria could be too. Enter now at talksportwin.com for the chance to score an incredible week-long trip for two to watch the 150th anniversary Test match in Melbourne with Visit Victoria and the Barmy Army. Enter now at talksportwin.com and get ready to experience the electric atmosphere that only a Barmy Army tour delivers.
Morning to you, it's Sam Matterface, Alex Crook and Villa legend Gabby Agbonlahor, and we're live on talkSPORT this morning. A busy night for Chelsea. They ended Luton's 15-game unbeaten run last night, and they continue to be busy in the transfer market. With Enzo Fernandez out, Emi Martinez in, do all good things eventually come to an end. Meanwhile, the Homestyle Fanatics have now announced that the group will disband after more than 20 years of active support at Crystal Palace. Does Selhurst Park now risk losing its reputation as one of the Premier League's most intense, noisy cauldrons? Also today is the pressure on the Rangers boss, Derek McInnes, already coming on top of his shoulders. Where have all the Scousers gone from Liverpool's team? And Enzo Maresca has a shiny new midfielder to choose tonight, but will the 18-year-old have to bide his time? It's Sam Matterface, Alex Crook and Gabby Agbonlahor, and we're live on talkSPORT. Hello, very good morning. It's Fun Boy Friday. We are back, and it is the last Friday of the transfer window, which means 5 days of Alex Crook working his absolute nuts off. Well, you would have thought so, wouldn't you? Because last night, instead of preparing for his talkSPORT 2 commentary at Brighton, he was in the Tunnel Club having a slap-up 4-course meal, including, he tells me, Norwegian dumplings. The meal was so good, he recorded his team news in the toilet.
I did not record my team news.
You did.
In the toilet.
You did. We heard it last night. 6:15 last night.
Outside the Tunnel Club. Listen, you know Brighton look after us very well. They wanted to make a bit of social media content in their tunnel club. They've got the MasterChef winner, Stephen Edwards, who is in charge of all the menus there. And I've got to say, they looked after us with a lovely bit of cod, as you mentioned. The Norwegian dumplings were unbelievable.
What made them Norwegian?
He did tell me about how he cooked them, but I'll have to watch the video back in order to.
You had too many glasses of champagne.
No, obviously I was a professional. Wait until after the game.
Sam, you say he works so much. Has he told you his plans tonight?
What is his plans tonight?
Do you want to explain quickly where you're going tonight?
Off to Goodwood tonight for the races.
Oh, okay.
Nice little Friday night meeting.
Networking, he said to me when I asked him about the Tunnel Club. I'm very proud this morning, by the way. Max, one of the analysts at Chelsea, was watching over my shoulder last night whilst I was commentating on the game against Luton. Sidled up to me in the tunnel after the game, asked me about my special research app.
Really?
Yeah.
See, look at his face.
Made me well happy that did. He's not the only one, actually. It turns out there is more geeks out there than you think.
Yeah.
And, of course, Agbonlahor, the accountant, is here. How are we?
I've quit as an accountant.
I was going to say, you've got no workings out.
Yeah, there's no paper.
It lasted 1 week.
He has proudly brought the Champions League draw, though.
Is it nice to be back in it, Crookie, after many years?
Well, I think UEFA are very happy.
I think also Gabby's accountant's starting to struggle because Gabby's now plotting a trip to all these different destinations because he thinks it's the last time in a long time that they're going to play Champions League.
I came in this morning, he sidled up at the management desk, which is where he spends most of his time.
Yeah.
And he's basically pleading with them to send him to Barcelona.
For negotiations, Crookie. A young kid like myself would love to go to the new camp. It'd be a dream, Alex.
Well, you may well get your dream to come true if you pay for yourself. Danny Welbeck scored in his debut last night. Enzo Fernandez was not in the squad. He was left out. And Xabi Alonso says it was his responsibility. He decided that he wasn't going to be in the team last night.
No, after training we had that idea, but after you have to assess everything, all the situations, individual, collective, and for today it was not the right call. We had other players that they are in good moment, like Valentin, he has played really well in that position, and we need players that take that step forward.
Enzo Fernandez, then, as we understand it, in a situation where advanced negotiations we were reporting last night. What's the situation as it stands?
Well, it depends who you talk to. Sources at Chelsea are still saying there's been no club-to-club contact. They point out the deadline for that £120 million written offer has expired, and they're claiming market movement now, so they're suggesting they want a bigger fee. Manchester City sources seem a lot more confident that this deal will get done, and our information, actually, despite what Xabi Alonso said there, was that it was Enzo Fernandez who asked to be left out last night. So I think this move is going to happen.
Does he leave Chelsea though? Because Chelsea need a replacement.
Yeah, do they?
I think so.
You don't think they do?
No.
You're happy with that midfield?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, I'll explain to you a little bit later why I don't think it's a problem. They don't need to spend any money to replace him. But I think the bigger question is how do Chelsea fans feel about Enzo Fernandez? This is a player that they bought for £105 million after the World Cup in 2022. They're going to make a profit on him, which I think is remarkable, really. I think he's been quite good for Chelsea in terms of his goal contributions, assists and goals over the course of the last few seasons. But I wonder how they feel about how he's conducted himself, because there's been a few incidents that have cropped up over the time that he's been at Chelsea. He's also sort of indicated that he would like a move to Real Madrid. Now he's going off to Manchester City. So I wonder how they feel about that, whether they're not too fussed about it. And I wanted to ask you about Emi Martinez, who's also going to come into Chelsea as a goalkeeper. When you were told about this deal yesterday, you said good riddance. Why?
I didn't say that.
Didn't you not?
No, I didn't. I didn't say good riddance. No,
I think you did.
I said goodbye.
Did you?
Different good riddance. No, listen, Emi Martinez has been fantastic for Aston Villa, but Aston Villa have been fantastic to Emi Martinez. When he joined from Arsenal, he was a nobody. Aston Villa turned him into...
He was an FA Cup winner when he joined.
Yeah, but it's still a nobody, really, wasn't he? That's why he come to Aston Villa. Aston Villa turned him into the best goalkeeper in the world, and I just didn't like the way 3 years in a row he's been trying to leave every summer, which has upset some Villa fans. But when you look at his performances, his saves, everything about his style of play, even the negative stuff, the way he winds up opposition fan bases, Aston Villa fans have loved having him, and he'll go down as definitely a club legend.
It's interesting, isn't it? So I think there's different ways that people react when players leave football clubs. So I just wonder what the feeling is amongst those two fan bases about Emi Martinez going from Aston Villa to Chelsea. Do the Aston Villa fans really care about it anymore? They've got Suzuki now, so are they like happy to move on? Are Aston Villa happy to move on from him?
Yeah.
And the same with Chelsea. Are they in a place where actually they're just comfortable to move on from Enzo?
He wasn't at his best last season, Emi Martinez.
Or at the World Cup.
At the World Cup wasn't at his best. 33 now. But I still think, Sam, that the £8.5 million, keepers play to an older age, don't they?
Yeah.
Oh, have we sold ourselves a bit short with the fee? No, I don't
way.
think he is. He's not at his prime, but I still think we could have got a bit more money for him. Do you reckon, Alex?
The deal all seemed to happen very quickly, didn't it? Because the messaging we were getting out of Chelsea all summer was that they were happy with their goalkeepers. They had faith in Robert Sanchez. They had Mike Penders coming back, who I know you're a big fan of. And it all seemed to change literally after Monday night when he basically was at fault for both the Fulham goals, wasn't he? And made it quite a chaotic win in the end for Chelsea. And they pivoted to Emi Martinez, who obviously wanted out of Villa with Suzuki coming in. So the speed of the deal, I think you're right. Maybe Villa could have held out for a bit more money, but I'd imagine he's one of their top earners. They've got his wages off the payroll. Is it a concern for you that basically the whole team of last season seems to have left the club, though?
Of course it's a concern, but I done a post earlier on. I said, listen, thank you to every one of the players that have left, because the memories that they have given Aston Villa fans will never be forgotten, that group of players. But this is football now. Aston Villa will move on. We've got one of the best managers in the league who's decided on the players that will come in. Now these new players have to step up. Manzambi's back in training. He's got to hit the ground running. He's got to be our Morgan Rogers replacement. Other players in that, João Gomez, when he comes back from suspension, of course. Goretzka, no Bayern Munich midfielder last season played more minutes than him in the Bundesliga. He's going to be experienced, got Champions League experience. He's been there and done it. Hopefully we can get some more players in as well. Wan-Bissaka I like as cover for Matty Cash as well.
Rafael Leao.
He wants to go to Aston Villa. He's turning down £250,000 a week to go to Aston
It's just
Villa.
Whenever I've watched him, especially for AC Milan and even Portugal, he literally can turn it on, but he can turn it off. He can literally be a manager's nightmare at times. Sometimes his attitude and he's not tracking back and he's throwing his arms up. But if there's one manager, we keep saying if Emery can get the best out of players, hopefully he can. Because when he's at it, pace, skill, he can finish, he's got it all. He just needs maybe that right manager to get it out of him.
Interesting to hear what Chelsea fans and what Villa fans make of those departures. Enzo Fernandez off to Manchester City, as we understand it, although it's not complete by any way, shape or form yet. And Emi Martinez, who is going to be a Chelsea player, 03717 2233 44. And how much does that move the needle? Because I think everybody said on Monday night after watching Chelsea, the biggest issue they've got is they're never going to win anything if they don't improve their goalkeeper. Well, they've got a World Cup winner coming in the door now. 03717 223344. Does that move the needle? Let us know what you think. You can WhatsApp us on that number. You can voice note us. You can give us a call on the number, or you can text us 81089. We'll talk about how important it is as well in the manner in which you leave a club. Get in touch with us and let us know. It's Sam Matterface, Alex Crook and Gabby Agbonlahor. We're here with Selco Builders Warehouse. Check out this month's Real Deals at selcobw.com.
It's a win, Chaz.
Yeah.
But it is Charlton. Come on. That's not going to be the measure, is it? We're not going to find out too much about Spurs against Charlton.
No, we won't. But it just shows what the EFL Cup meant to Charlton.
Yeah.
They made 10 changes.
Yeah. Well, they were underdogs and they went into it, and I suppose they're thinking, listen, we're not going to win it. Let's make sure. Because promotion is the most important thing with Charlton. Like I said, unbeaten so far, so they're very much in the hunt for that promotion race. 03717 2233 44. He's Charlie Austin. I'm Jason Cundy. If you've been to a game, tell us what you've seen, tell us what you've heard. Let's go straight to the lines. Let's go and speak to Trev, who's a Spurs fan. All right, Trev?
Trev?
Hello, Jace. Spurs are back.
Spurs are back, Trev.
Spurs are back. Spurs are back. Definitely.
No, yeah.
Honestly, tonight, I know it was Charlton.
Trev, drop me out, mate.
But it's 5-1.
Trev.
Jace.
Trev. Trev.
Trev. Well, lovely.
Trev.
Yeah.
Come on, mate. 5. Take the win, right? Go home.
James,
And go to bed. No, it's fine. The Spurs aren't back, Trev. Come on, mate. You lot were an absolute disgrace. No, you're not.
Wait till Saturday,
No,
Dave.
you
You're
chaps,
gonna see
chaps,
a
all serious.
different Spurs side.
All right, so chaps, a different Spurs side from what we see Saturday evening, which was the same old Spurs. Then you've just beaten Charlton reserves / under 23s, and now all of a sudden Spurs are back. I don't see it.
Chaz, just wait until Saturday before you comment any further, please. Because honestly, you got to give us a chance.
How's that? Next March, the England cricket team face Australia in the 150th anniversary Test match down under. And as always, the Barmy Army will be there. Thanks to talkSPORT, Visit Victoria could be too. Enter now at talksportwin.com for the chance to score an incredible week-long trip for two to watch the 150th anniversary Test match in Melbourne with Visit Victoria and the Barmy Army. Enter now at talksportwin.com and get ready to experience the electric atmosphere that only a Barmy Army tour delivers.
It is talkSPORT. It's Sam Matterface, Alex Crook, and we've got Gabby Agbonlahor with us. And you said that if Chelsea sell Enzo Fernandez, then they'll need to replace him. I said I'm not as worried about that as some people are. You think that Chelsea will go back into the market, do you?
Yeah, I do, but not necessarily for one of the obvious candidates. As I say, I've done a bit of checking into Alex Scott's future this week. Bournemouth very confident of keeping him. They're not anticipating that Chelsea come back with a fresh offer. There's been no inquiry, despite reports to the contrary, for Adam Wharton to this point. One new name emerging overnight is Lamine Camara over at Monaco. It would probably only cost in the region of 50 to 60 million pounds. Young, up-and-coming player, fits the Blueco model, really. And obviously, if they were to sell Fernandes for 125 million and sign him for 60 million, then that is a decent profit.
I don't think it's urgent, and this is why. Chelsea are going to play only about 50 games this season. They're not in Europe, so they'll play League Cup, FA Cup and Premier League, but that's it. Reece James and Caicedo play in a system in which they will always play, right? They will play. James is going to play in midfield.
He's always fit, Reece James, isn't he?
I'm just... He was fit last season for most of the season, apart from the World Cup.
Until we got to the World Cup, yeah.
He played for Chelsea for most of the season. I think, but one of the reasons he's playing in midfield is because of that reason, right? Because he can't go up and down and play like a wing-back anymore. He certainly can't play at the demanding role that is going to be asked of the wing-backs in the Xabi Alonso system. So playing him in the central midfield position makes sense, right? He played there last night, played there Monday night. Caicedo will play every game alongside him. If one of those two aren't there, Lavia will step in and play.
Always fit as well.
Henderson will step in and play. Barco, who played in there last night, was very good. He'll step in there and play. And even Jarell Harto has played in there as well. So, okay, it's not the top-level midfield that you're talking about. Caicedo and James certainly is if they play every game. But Chelsea are only playing 50 games this season. I think between that 6, they'll be absolutely fine. They may get one for the future for next year if they get back into Europe, but they've got a lot of players.
Well, it's okay having a lot of players, and you say Barco last night, you're playing against Luton. No offence to Luton. When you're playing against the big boys in the Premier League...
That's the only game he's played so far, so he can't do anything.
Yeah, but when you're playing against the big boys in the Premier League, you need more than Chelsea are going to have.
Well, Xabi was quite happy with him last night.
Lavia's always injured, injury issues. Reece James, yes, maybe less running in centre midfield. But when he's playing in these big games, centre midfielders have to run. Doesn't matter if you're a player like Reece James. I still think if you're selling Enzo Fernandez, we talk about the goal contributions that he brings to that squad of players, you have to bring in someone else.
Also, don't think that Enzo Fernandez necessarily fits in the system as well as the others do, because he plays as more of an 8, a bit further forward, wants to get involved in the goal-scoring action, and those roles are being taken up by Palmer and Rodgers and Esteval.
Yeah. So if you talk about that midfield, then you're happy with that going up against Arsenal, against
that's how they're going to play.
Manchester City.
They're going to play
Enzo, Anderson, and Baradi. You're happy with that midfield?
Well, they're going to play Caicedo, James, Rodgers, Palmer in that game. Yeah,
you're happy with those two in there. And if Reece James isn't fit and Lavia's not fit, you're happy with someone else coming in there.
Well, you're just inventing injuries now, aren't you?
Just their record.
So if Manzambi doesn't play for the rest of the season, are you going to be happy with the midfield at Aston Villa? You don't know that
injury prone like Reece James and Lavia.
Well, he's turned up injured.
Yeah, but he's not injury prone.
All right, okay.
Okay, am I right here on the injury problems for?
They've had injuries. They've had injuries.
I can see both sides of the coin. I mean, Sam's right. It's not going to be a particularly exhaustive season in terms of fixtures. But yeah, I think they would need another body in midfield. Just going back to the Enzo Fernandez debate, you asked the question: how will Chelsea fans regard him? You know, what kind of farewell will he get, assuming this move goes ahead? I spoke to a lot of Chelsea fans who can't wait to see the back of him. I wonder how the players view him, because obviously you had that incident with the racist chanting that you had to apologise for. You had him stripped of the captaincy and taken out the team when he was hankering for a move to Madrid. I wonder if the players think he's a pain in the backside as much as some of the supporters.
Dave in Ruislip says, Enzo's world class, showed it at the Club World Cup and in the Conference League final against Betis. He's an elite player who has had to play in front of a shaky defence for the last few years. All the management changes affected the whole team. As a Chelsea fan, him going is great business as there's a positive vibe around the club and we wish him well for the future. I tell you what, there is definitely a positive vibe in that dressing room. And I was in the tunnel last night for a long time, and the atmosphere was completely different.
Are you getting carried away a little bit? I mean, that game against Fulham was chaotic.
What have I said?
Well, you think Chelsea are going to finish in the top 2? You know, you haven't ruled out
centre midfielders.
You haven't ruled out a title push. You look at that Fulham game.
They'll get into the Champions League. I think they'll finish higher than everybody thinks.
You think they'll finish second? Is what you said.
Well, that was my prediction when we did the BetMGM.
But do you still believe that, Sam?
I think they'll do very well.
That game against Fulham was excellent for the neutral. But it was chaos as well, wasn't it? Defensively, you were all over the shop. The goalkeeper was chucking him in. Never really had control of the midfield. Front three, brilliant. But I still think there's other areas of the team.
One of the main defenders was suspended, and also they've changed the goalkeeper since then.
Yeah. Just think you might be getting ahead of yourself.
No more Moises Caicedo.
We'll know more about Chelsea this weekend when they play Brighton.
We'll know a lot more about them next weekend after they played Arsenal. We're looking forward to that.
We will.
We know a lot about a lot more teams when they play games, funnily enough,
that's how it works. Calm down, you're getting a bit too carried away.
Yeah, all right, okay. Morning, gents. Enzo Fernandez going to Man City leaves a bitter taste, especially this late in the window. However, you've got to question Enzo's personality here. When we were linked with him, he was kissing the Benfica badge. He has been fighting with Havertz and Mount every time we played them for the way they left the club, and now he's doing the same. It's a fickle old sport. Great performance from the young kid Barco last night, so take the 120 million for Enzo and wait for Caicedo to let him know really he's there early when we play.
Tough game for Barco.
Chelsea fan.
Yeah.
Right, let's speak to Roger, who's a Chelsea fan. Hello. Roger, come on, call some order to this because these boys are being a little bit playful this morning.
Hello. Morning, guys. I think Martinez is a definite upgrade on Sanchez. All the Chelsea fans for the last 3 years have been saying we aren't going to win anything big, i.e. a Premier League, with Robbie Sanchez in goal. He's a great shot stopper, but he's so erratic. You know, he'll put off 2 or 3 world-class saves, and all of a sudden he'll throw one in the net. But if you look at Martinez's stats for last season versus Sanchez's stats, there isn't a huge difference. Someone showed it to me last night. I was quite shocked. But Martinez will give confidence to that back four. I mean, the Fulham game was a prime example. You know, we were electric going forward, but every time Fulham threatened the goal, you just knew Sanchez was going to do something silly.
You know what else you can do now as well as a team? You can pass it back to your keeper and relax and let him find a pass as well. Look at the amount of chances that he makes for clubs as well with his passes from the back, his long kicks as well, Martinez.
Yes, Yes, I agree, Gabs. And I think Martinez, for the money that we're going to get him for, allegedly, is 1,050% upgrade on Robbie Sanchez. And Enzo has a few good games for Chelsea, but I don't think he's ever justified 105 million price tag from Benfica in all the games that he's played. And if we are going to get 120 million from Man City, I agree with Sam. I don't think we need to panic and rush out and try and overspend on someone just to get someone in. I think because we've got no other competitions bar the Prem and the 2 cups, I think we can handle it with the squad we got.
Yeah, that's the thing, isn't it? You know, they're not panicking, not needing to go out and spend a load of money because they don't have the workload that the other clubs have. That's my point. I know these boys are picking holes in the Chelsea midfield, but we'll see what happens at the end of the season. Dave
picked a few holes in the Chelsea midfield, didn't they?
Morning, gents. Chelsea season ticket holder here for over 30 years. I think Chelsea started with a win last weekend, didn't they? How did Manchester United get on?
I'll talk about Manchester United.
Oh, right, okay. So I was just thinking, sorry, I just said holes in midfield and I just immediately went there. Chelsea season ticket holder for over 30 years. We'll be more than happy to see the back of Enzo. And nobody's bigger than the club. And to be honest, never really rated him. Very pedestrian in midfield. Doesn't have the spark or anything exciting about him. I think he just personifies the term mercenary. In the words of Gabby, good riddance. I agree with you, Sam. Don't really think we need to replace him. We now have a decent manager, decent squad, and no more of this sideways, backwards nonsense that we had to watch over the last 2 years. Look forward to the season even more without him in the squad. That's from Dave in Surrey. 03717 223344. Gabby says Ryan, the Chelsea fan, miles off it.
Oh,
Villa didn't make Martinez a big name. The World Cup did.
I disagree. Aston Villa did. Before he come to Aston Villa, he was a bit of a nobody. Gets to play his best football at Aston Villa. But I do agree as well, you know, Martinez going to the World Cup and winning the World Cup and becoming the best goalkeeper in the world did bring Aston Villa up a level as well.
Aston Villa's Holt End, fantastic place to be, yeah?
Yes, of course.
It's great noise, always jam-packed, especially Champions League nights.
Yes.
Great tifos, great banners, great just entertainment, love it. Chelsea's brilliant Matthew Harding end, absolutely superb in terms of conjuring up sort of like, you know, great banners and great sort of points to the history.
Yes.
The Kop end, the Stretford end, which is, they've spent a lot of time trying to make that even better.
Yeah.
And the Holmesdale Road end at Crystal Palace, which is really intimidating. But
it really is.
Their fans that organised that for a very long time, the Holmesdale fanatics, are calling it a day. We'll tell you why next.
Michael, where are you with Isak at this moment? I just think that particular penalty, Szoboszlai was always taking it, and likes of Isak had far more to lose than he had to gain by taking that penalty. But where are you with Isak at this moment in time? And he looks to me, he's obviously had big injury problems and all that stuff. The move was well documented. You know, Newcastle fans are unhappy. What's it going to take for him to get playing with a regular confidence and show the ability that we know he has?
Well, I'm not sure about you, Ali, but I had plenty of injuries in my career, so I know how hard it is to get back, and you do need a bit of time. And everybody's given him time and understood that, but then he's sort of finished the season, then he's gone to the World Cup, and now he's had a pre-season, and you just think, okay, now we're starting to run out of excuses. We need to start seeing the real Isak, and we know how good he is. I mean, wow, we saw him for Newcastle. I mean, he's absolute class. But we haven't seen it for Liverpool just yet, and I think, you know, questions will come now. As I say, always give him the benefit of the doubt in the past with Liverpool, but at the start of this season now we're expecting, and Liverpool absolutely need him. They've lost Salah, Ekitike's out, there's not that many options in attacking areas. They absolutely need him to be on top form. Yesterday he was far from it. I thought he was a yard off, and that's worrying. But so was Wirtz. I thought he was really quiet as well. So, you know, it wasn't the greatest performance for Liverpool. They actually did well to scrounge a point in the end. But obviously, he's the big money signing. He's headline maker, and yeah, I can't say he played well because he really didn't.
talkSPORT News.
Good morning with your headlines. I'm Sinead Garvan. 200 extra cops are being sent to Middlesbrough after a series of violent incidents in the past week. 9 people have been killed, including 2 police officers in a head-on collision on the A66. And a 7-year-old girl and her auntie were killed in a deliberate house fire nearby. The Labour leader of the local council, Alec Brown, says people are scared.
General, people in cars driving at speed. Again, this is speculation, whether there's a gang turf war. As you can imagine, if you were to lose 9 lives in your community on your doorstep, you would feel unsafe in your own home.
Well, last night a vigil was held for one of the 5 young men killed in the car that hit the police vehicle. Flares were set off. Cars and bikes were seen revving on the field before 5 were set on fire. 489 people have now been confirmed dead in the flash floods that swept through the Nepal-Tibet border. 33 British tourists are still missing, among them a family from Surrey, including their 13-year-old daughter. Andrew and Tristan Tate will stay in a Miami jail for now while trying to get bail. They've told a court they've lost everything as they fight extradition to Britain over allegations of rape and human trafficking. And Andy Burnham's targeting cowboy builders, vowing to stop people getting ripped off. Under the plans, traders can sign up to a new code, which means they've met certain standards.
talkSPORT sports headlines with Bostik. For professional-grade sealants with easy application and a perfect finish, pros trust Bostik.
We're told there are plenty of envious ex-Spurs managers following their £350 million summer spend, and the second test resumes following a threatened boycott by Pakistan. Nick has more at 11.
How's that? Next March, the England cricket team face Australia in the 150th anniversary Test match down under. And as always, the Barmy Army will be there. And thanks to talkSPORT and Visit Victoria, you could be too. Enter now at talksportwin.com for the chance to score an incredible week-long trip for 2 to watch the 150th anniversary Test match in Melbourne with Visit Victoria and the Barmy Army. Enter now at talksportwin.com and get ready to experience the electric atmosphere that only a Barmy Army tour delivers.
Hello, very good morning to you. It's Matterface, Alex Crook and Gabby Agbonlahor here till 1 o'clock. Remember, we've got live football tonight. It's going to be at Selhurst Park, actually. It's Crystal Palace against Manchester City. Live commentary from Joe Shannon and Martin Keown tonight as we start our Premier League weekend. Liverpool against Nottingham Forest tomorrow. We're round the grounds with Adrian 2:30. Sunday, Crookie and I will be at Manchester United versus Ipswich. And then Monday night football, it is the Villa against Arsenal. Looking forward to that. The Homestyle Fanatics have announced that the group will disband after 20 years of support at Crystal Palace. In a lengthy statement, the Ultras revealed that the state of modern football has made it too difficult for them to keep delivering support. These are their reasons. They include increasing restrictions on pressure on football supporters, extremely high ticket prices, police pressure, arrests and legal proceedings faced by supporters, away supporters being prevented from bringing banners and other materials into stadiums, as well as being stopped and detained, the increasing difficulty for younger supporters to become part of terrorist culture, and the fact that the conditions to sustain an active supporter culture in the Palace stands no longer exists. Does Selhurst Park risk losing its reputation as one of the most intense grounds in the Premier League?
Yes, I played there numerous times and always found it a tough place to play. Pitch is so, small compared to some of the other Premier League clubs. Fans are right on top of you at that end as well, close to the tunnel. Those fans there really made it a hell of an atmosphere and a tough place to play.
Crook?
Yeah, obviously it's going to dilute the atmosphere, which is a real shame. I think there's two sides to this story. I think there have been times when the Ultras have overstepped the mark with some of their banners. They can't argue that. And when they talk about arrests and legal costs, you have to ask the question, well, why? of certain members of that group been arrested. However, they are right. You know, modern football is going in a direction which I think is only going to take away the atmosphere. You look at Wolves, for example, deciding to ditch the Liquidator, their anthem recently, because there was, fans using the F word, talking about West Brom, but they've been doing that for years, and West Bromwich Albion fans aren't going to be offended by that. I do think sometimes in football we just get offended for its own sake. So you've got to get the right balance. Part of the appeal, and it's very expensive now to go to football rather than watching a game on TV, is because you want to get swept up in the atmosphere. The more you dilute the atmosphere, the less inclined proper football supporters are going to be to pay those ticket prices.
It was interesting in that statement that they also said genuine lifelong fans are no longer prioritised.
I think that's right.
And I think we've had this debate a lot. You know, you get the feeling going to football that what really the clubs want are the tourist fans that come along, turn up, pay ridiculous prices for one ticket, then go into the shop, spend loads of money because it's their big day out. And look, I'm all for people doing that. I'm more than happy for people who support the club from afar, having the opportunity, the one-off experience to come in. But that shouldn't be at the expense of those lifelong season ticket holders that have been there through the good and the bad, the thin and the thick. You know, you can't stand at football anymore. You can't drink at football anymore. You can't put your banners up at football anymore. You can't wave your flags anymore. You can't protest anymore, and you can't sing anymore now. Do you know? So at some stage, you've got to try and think, what are we doing here? Terrace culture is part of English football.
I was at the semi-final of the FA Cup at Wembley between Aston Villa and Crystal Palace, and the Villa fans were silent compared to the Palace fans. These ultras behind the goal, I was actually sat behind them, and it was incredible. Same in the final against Manchester City. That makes a big difference to a player on the football pitch. When you're seeing that set of fans and they're really going for the whole 90 minutes. We see it in how many games have you been to? Numerous games in Europe, and you see the European fans, they're at it, aren't they, non-stop?
But this idea that it's just Europe is not true. You know, I go to, as you said, a lot of games. I was at Newcastle on Sunday with Crook. The atmosphere was off the scale. The displays by war flags, brilliant. You know, some great stuff is done by brilliant fan groups that do that themselves. You know, that's not the club doing that at Newcastle on Sunday. That's the club working with a fan group to make the experience what it was on Sunday. It was spine-tingling, it was off the scale, right? Manchester City have done that with their supporter groups. Liverpool do that. The Cop End is a special place. You know, that has to be retained. You cannot sanitise that out of English football.
I totally agree. And how many points have Crystal Palace won at home over the years?
Not many last season, actually.
No, but over
4 home wins.
Over the years, though, because of that fan base behind the goal.
And I was there for the semi-final. Did the commentary for talkSPORT too when they got into the Conference League final, and the atmosphere was spine-tingling, and the ultras played a big part in that. So it is a shame, but this is, as I say, the direction of travel, and the ticket prices for me is the single biggest problem. We talked about the World Cup in the build-up, astronomical prices to get into a lot of those games, but most of the stadiums were full because tourists are willing to pay the money. What it did mean, actually, as good a World Cup as it was, the atmosphere wasn't great.
It's part of it as well.
Do you know what? I don't know what you found, but when we got to latter stages, the atmosphere wasn't as great because that was very corporate.
Yeah.
Sam, is part of it as well. Marinakis suing Crystal Palace as well. Was it the ultras that were involved with something?
Well, you had that ban. You had that ban. That's what I'm talking about. A couple of the banners have probably overstepped.
They've had feuds with Croydon Council, safety authorities. They had an issue with the club over where they were going to sit and stand. The Saudi takeover and the police investigation in 2021 during a Newcastle match at Selhurst Park. The Marinakis ban you've already mentioned. Listen, we don't want anything illegal. We don't want anything dangerous. We don't want anything offensive. But what you do want is spice, edge, passion.
Of course
you do. You don't want to sanitise the culture of...
But you also have to decide what is genuinely offensive. I mean, the Wolves thing is just bonkers to get rid of that song.
I mean, it baffles
Who's actually offended?
Don't you think everyone thinks now the world's changed, Crookie? It's embarrassing. Everything's offensive now.
Not for the...
Not to me and you it isn't, and Sam it's not, but a lot of people are offended by anything nowadays.
But then, are they really? Are they really? If we did a poll of people who attend Molineux, would they really be offended by it? How many?
Exactly. No, I agree.
You know, come on.
It's nothing.
If you want a sanitised environment, go to a library
and read a book. It's football humour, a lot of the chanting as well.
Yeah, I mean, no one's... as long as it's not over-the-top aggressive and making people feel intimidated or making people feel uncomfortable, which largely it doesn't, it is just a bit of banter, and that is part of the culture, then you've got to have...
I don't think a lot of fans listen anyway, Cookie. Sometimes you tell football fans not to sing something, they're going to sing it anyway.
Of course they are.
Yeah.
Not
That's
pay
the
my
case
money.
everywhere.
Exactly.
A lot of people, says Jamie, are glad to see the HF, the Homestyle Fanatics, go. A group who believe they rule the fan base and everyone must do as they say. Rinse fans for 30, 40, 50k a touch at times for displays, some flags and cardboard, never detailing the cost, which would never be that much. Attacking their own fans at away games in Europe, the list goes on. The pantomime of them disbanding is simply because they aren't getting their own way anymore. As Gabby says, good riddance. It's becoming your catchphrase now. That's from Jamie. Anyway, I'd be interested to see if we go.
Yes, he does that to me.
Don't go there. Don't go there because I'll get it out. Don't go there. Don't go there. Sam, the Leicester fan. Palace home support is the most overrated home support in the country. Disagree with that. All it is a handful of men in masks jumping around. Can barely hear them in the away end. They didn't sell out. At Leicester, says Sam. Actually, look, I've been there a lot. And my experience is not that. Your experience might be different, and everyone obviously has their own opinion. But I don't think it is. I think the noise at Selhurst Park is terrific, especially in the big games.
Yeah, totally agree.
And we're lucky to have been there in Europe last season.
It'll be lively tonight under the lights. Visit Manchester City.
Yeah, and looking for a first win under Pierre Sarge. And I wonder, with Munoz going, with the uncertainty under Ismaila Sarr, what's happening there? Mateta still sort of edging for a lead. What team we're going to see tonight?
Well, I don't think Sarr will feature. I think there's every chance this Munoz deal to Forest gets done. 22 million bid under consideration, as I understand it. The vibes seem to be a bit more positive when it comes to Mateta. You speak to people at Palace and they'll tell you that actually his agent is causing more problems than the player himself. And he did start the game, didn't he, against Everton last weekend. But I do fear a little bit for Palace, particularly given that record last season. Only 4 home victories. Created plenty of chances at Everton last week, but never really looked like scoring. And I think they're one of the teams that
they've still got some good players, haven't they?
Yeah, they have.
Strand Larson, when you get the chance, needs to show up as well. I love watching Pino as well. I think he's going to go from strength to strength.
It's not really happened for Strand Larson, is it?
No, but he needs to. He needs to pick it up, doesn't he?
Yeah.
Yeah, but I mean, they've got some good players, but every time they get a good player, someone comes and swoops and nicks them, don't they? They haven't beaten Manchester City.
What happens to the rules?
In 9
They are
meetings.
standing a little bit firmer this summer. My understanding is that conversation with Liverpool was very short-lived when it came to Sarr. Steve Parish made it clear he wasn't for sale. They rejected a bid of 25 million from Villa for Mateta. So I do think they're trying to maybe shed this tag of being a selling club.
Munoz is going to go to Nottingham Forest, and their best defender has gone again for another week.
What would you sell Munoz?
In the last 2 years of his contract, isn't he, Munoz? And
yeah, but he's top.
52 million for Lacroix was good money, I think.
Yeah, but not 23 for Munoz. He's one of the best in the league.
He was key to what they did last season.
Yeah, I rate him highly.
Couple of seasons.
So was Lacroix. Thought it was excellent. He made a good start, especially against Luton last night. 03717
Tough game.
3344. Ultras are arrogant and bullies and think they run the club. They make it worse for other fans. They don't make a higher parentage of the noise. They have to accept global TV fans are paying for what they are enjoying, not a few hundred childish men who just happen to be fortunate enough to live close enough to go to the ground each week. Keep your views coming in. 03717 223344. I don't think that you should bow down to everything the Ultras want to do. But
that's been a big problem in Scotland, isn't it?
What I do think is that you've got to make sure that you retain the level of atmosphere that keeps 100%. The vibrancy, the intensity, and the intimidation factor of that ground, because it's a tight little ground. You know, it needs. And Crystal Palace are not the biggest club in London. They need that kind of.
Compare the atmosphere there to Craven Cottage. Do you know what I mean? Silent.
Different fan bases.
Yeah.
03717 223344. That game is live tonight on talkSPORT. Crystal Palace against Manchester City. We're going to talk a little bit about Liverpool, Nottingham Forest, because they are our Saturday lunchtime game. Both Iraola and Glasner looking for their first wins in charge.
Gabby Agbonlahor, right, Gab?
Gabby!
Jamie, what you on about,
the
mate?
Villa!
You're just jealous, mate. I've been hearing you all day.
What are you on about?
You're talking guff, mate. Just because you're jealous.
What are you on about?
You're jealous.
How can you finish 17 2 years in a row and spend half a bill?
Because we've got the cash, Gabs.
Yeah, but that ain't fair, mate.
See? Jealous.
It ain't fair, Cundy.
No, I agree. Do you know what? I agree with Gabby on this. I totally agree with him.
No.
This has got no. I'm not.
Win the Europa League,
I'm not picking.
and we can't flipping spend.
I'm not picking sides. I'm telling you now. Villa and Newcastle should be able to spend.
Cry me a river.
No, 100.
Cry me a river.
Jay, listen.
Thank you, Cundy.
I totally agree with him.
Gabs?
Totally agree with him.
Stop crying, mate.
Jamie.
Stop crying,
Totally
mate.
agree with him.
Stop crying.
Jamie.
Gabs.
You're signing rejects from Manchester City.
Good players,
is
mate.
unwanted. Savino's a reject. Robertson's a reject from Liverpool, not wanted anymore. Conor Gallagher's a reject from Atletico Madrid. Spurs are signing rejects.
Hold on a minute. You sold 5 of your best players. All right, you're absolute guff this season. Oh, the rules! Oh, the rules! I thought you was a big club. I thought you was a big club.
Well, we are a big club, but the rules don't let us.
You're not, though.
Because you and your cartel, top 6, you and Cundy, don't want Villa in there.
Don't bring me into this. I have nothing to do with this, Gabby.
Mate, keep you out of it. Only big boys allowed in the top 6, mate. You're not big. You have to sell your best players. We don't have to sell our best players.
17th, right, and go and spend £500 million.
Because we're a big club, Gabs. Stop whinging.
England cricket team face Australia in the 150th anniversary Test match down under. And as always, the Barmy Army will be there. And thanks to talkSPORT, Visit Victoria could be too. Enter now at talksportwin.com for the chance to score an incredible week-long trip for 2 to watch the 150th anniversary Test match in Melbourne with Visit Victoria and the Barmy Army. Enter now at talksportwin.com and get ready to experience the electric atmosphere that only a Barmy Army tour delivers.
It's talkSPORT. Sam Matterface, Alex Crook, and petty Gabby Agbonlahor, the accountant who counts the beans more often than not now. I heard that you're trying to save money. In fact, no, you're not trying to save money. You're happy to spend a little bit more money to make sure that Tottenham don't get any more. So instead of going to the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium to go and see Jay-Z, you've decided to go abroad.
Yes, I'm going to the Stade de France in Paris. I'd rather spend my money in Paris than give it to Spurs.
Is that really the reason you're going to Paris?
100%, yeah.
That's fantastic. Well, so you want to watch Jay-Z, but instead of going to... the only way you can see him in this country is at Tottenham.
He's at Tottenham Hotspur.
And you won't go there?
No, so I've chosen to go to Paris.
Are you taking the future Mrs. Agbonlahor?
I am indeed.
Well, there you go. So she'd rather go to Paris than North London.
So it's not really anything to do with football. You're just sucking up.
No, listen, we've been to Paris. We went to watch the wonderful Aston Villa there in the Champions League. We've been there and done it many times.
Was that your idea of a romantic date? You took to see Villa
Yeah, I
in
did.
Paris?
It was a birthday as well. That didn't go down well. But yeah, I don't really want to give Tottenham Hotspur any of my hard-earned talkSPORT money. I'd rather go to Paris and give it to whoever owns Stade de France.
Okay, there you go. All right, interesting.
High level of pettiness, Alex.
But you're taking a day off the show to do that as well.
He's not.
No, holiday pay, mate.
He's got you've got to get the train back after the. When's the gig? The Friday night or the Thursday?
The Friday.
Well, in which case, just go after the show.
Apparently,
it's a 2-hour train.
I've been told I can do the show from Paris.
Get out.
You can talk.
Yeah, but I can plug in a laptop. Right, okay, let's talk about Liverpool versus Nottingham Forest tomorrow, 12:30 live on talkSPORT. Andoni Iraola, is he already doing what Slot didn't do and playing a little bit more to the fans, trying to bridge the disconnect from what was, certainly apparent under Slot that the sort of club and the manager and the fans had fallen out? This is Iraola ahead of the game.
No, it's definitely a special moment for me to play your first Premier League game at Anfield. I think I already felt it in pre-season. So when the competition starts, for me, it's gonna be I will be thinking on the game and the things that I need to think, but I think it's gonna be emotional, and I think it has to be like this. It's a special place. I've had to fight a lot to arrive to this place, and I hope everything goes well and I can enjoy also the game.
Obviously, the fans and Slot fell out towards the end of last season. Is he trying to ingratiate himself with the supporters beforehand, or is he genuinely feeling as if this is going to be an emotional moment?
I think he probably is. Listen, they've done a fantastic job at Bournemouth, but Liverpool's a different kettle of fish. But what he needs, Sam, he needs some of his players to turn up. I mean, how they haven't brought a right back in. Frimpong is painful to watch at times. He's not a defender. Isak's got to turn up. So has Wirtz. Wirtz plays like he's on the six-a-side pitch. Nice little touches, but he's not really going to go and score a goal or make something happen. These players need to step up.
Are you a little bit worried about Liverpool and their recruitment this summer?
I never worry about Liverpool. But
this is not going to just be the petty 3 hours.
But I understand fans' concerns. Obviously, the Barcola deal is going to happen now. We've been saying that for a few weeks on talkSPORT, but they still look a little bit short now. But I think Gab's right about Frimpong. I think defensively he's a car crash. Kirkes hasn't kicked on as maybe, having watched him a lot of Bournemouth, I would have expected. Van Dijk is a year older and looked a long way off the pace at the weekend. Xhaka, I think, has got the raw materials to be a good defender.
Where's the defensive midfield player?
Well, they're still too easy to play against in midfield, and Newcastle exposed that. At home against a Forest side who, by his own admission, Oliver Glasner, are still trying to find their feet under a new manager. This should be a home banker. But it wouldn't be a massive surprise if they don't win, would it?
Well, Forest have had a good record there in the last few years as well, which it will be of concern to Andoni Iraola. My question is where's the replacement for Salah on the right-hand side?
Left-footed winger, yep.
Where's the defensive midfield player? Because you knew Gravenberch did brilliantly when they won the title, I thought. Yep. It was absolutely superb. But he's not really a defensive midfield player. He's more of an attacking midfield, always has been more of an attacking midfield eight. You're still looking for someone to fulfil that role. Why haven't they gone out and prioritised that? Right back is an issue. You've already mentioned it. Yes. Frimpong's a wing back, really.
Yes.
As much as you can have a go at him for not playing well at right back, that's not really his best position. And Kirkes hasn't had the greatest of starts either, and they've had to bring back Kostas Tsimikas to be the deputy.
And you look at not even the goal, one of the goals that Newcastle scored, but in general, how easy it is to get through that midfield. Yeah. If you're Nottingham Forest and your players like Gibbs White, you're looking to get on that ball on the weekend and say, listen, you'll get space against Liverpool. I just don't get how they've not brought in a top right back, top number 6. And yes, they did try and replace Salah, didn't they? Well, not to the same levels. Minter is no Mo Salah, but they tried to get a left-footed winger in. Obviously, Brighton asking for too much money, but I still think they're short. Rio Ngamora, he'll have a great season, but you can't rely on youngsters. You've got to bring them in and bring them out. They still need another top winger.
Yeah, interesting. It sort of lends itself to the debate that we were just having about fan culture. The COP's going to be really important tomorrow. The atmosphere, the welcoming for Andoni Iraola and some of the new players going to be important in terms of creating the atmosphere. But 134 years, and for the first time really over the course of their history, Liverpool going to be in a situation where there's no Scouser in the squad. And that connection with the local community, again, has just been fractured that little bit more. I think it means a lot to Liverpool supporters when they have one of their own playing in the team, and that's not going to happen unless Jayden Daniels comes through.
Yeah, and similar to Manchester United, the record of always having an academy player in the squad, it's important to the fans. So I do think it's a little bit of a blind spot when it comes to Liverpool, the fact they're not going to have any homegrown players in the team.
They sold Curtis Jones, didn't they? Did they need to do that?
I think he wanted out.
Yeah. He's not kicked on, has he, at Liverpool? When you watch Curtis Jones play, he might have a good 60 minutes, and the next game he might play again. The next game after that, he's not at the same levels. I think it makes sense for both Liverpool and the player. But they do love homegrown, don't they? Steven Gerrard, Trent, of course, Jamie Carragher.
Yeah, Robbie Fowler, Steve McManaman, Phil Thompson coming through, all those players. Talk to me about Delap. He's gone to Nottingham Forest for what could be £50 million from Chelsea. Troy Deeney on the Premier League All Access podcast yesterday had this to say about the new Nottingham Forest signing.
You mentioned Chelsea selling Delap. I mean, they probably could open a bookstore. They're becoming the best sellers, aren't they?
He needs to have a massive year this year. Just look at the international landscape. Ollie Watkins looks like he's moving to the Saudis. Ivan Toney's already out there, both in their 30s. Harry Kane is 34. There's a massive gap then between who's next to take over the English striker position. He's a front runner. So you've got to learn now to deliver week in, week out, handle the expectation of a Forest crowd, and also tidy your game up, because this manager is going to let you know if you're not playing well.
That was Troy Deeney on Premier League All Access yesterday. That's available on the talkSPORT app or wherever you get your podcast. Good podcast.
Fantastic
Good guest,
podcast, by the way.
What a great guest.
Honestly, guys, I listen to every episode. It's unbelievable.
Did you? So in which case, you can give us your view on what Troy said.
So I think Liam Delap, was it 28 Premier League appearances last season, 1 goal, 4 yellow cards.
Is he really the next cab off the rank after Harry Kane?
He's got every chance. Of course he has. He's got every chance. Of course he has. But he needs to, like Troy says, sharpen up his hold-up play. Stop making so many fouls. He's got to get in that box and he's got to be more clinical. He was snatching at chances at Chelsea. I felt the pressure of such a big football club was too much for Liam Delap. A club like Nottingham Forest, where they are now and where they're going to finish this season, will suit him. But still, if he's not performing and scoring goals, Chris Wood's waiting there. Igor Jesus is a very good striker. They've got options, so he's not guaranteed to start every game if he's not performing. So he's got to grab his chance.
It just felt at the time like it was too big a jump. He spoke to Everton, he spoke to Newcastle, and I know he was very impressed with Eddie Howe. But I understand for a young player, when you look at the wages, the chance to live in London, the chance to join one of the biggest clubs in the Premier League, you're probably not going to turn Chelsea down. But I do wonder if he had his time again, would he make a different decision? This feels like an opportunity to kickstart his career, and I think he'll have a much more productive season at the City Ground.
Wonder what Nottingham Forest fans think about the acquisition of Delap and what they think about the season so far, and the comments from their manager, Oliver Glasner, who's been playing down their campaign, saying that they were in a relegation battle last season and he can't turn water into wine. He also talks about the fact that he couldn't get them playing like prime Real Madrid in the 70s after just 6 weeks in the job. 03717223344. We'll try and get to Oliver Glasner as well in the next section of the programme. 81089 on the text. I actually think they're going to play in quite an interesting way because they play the 3-4-3 formation. I think the forward players, Delap will probably lead the line eventually, and then you'll have those two number 10s. I think Igor Jesus might be one of those number 10s that plays off the main striker. Okay. So I think they eventually, and I don't think it's there just yet, but after he's had a bit of time with them, they'll have quite a good front three. I think the wing-backs will be all right. Nico Williams is an effective wing-back. Yep. Ola Aina's a good wing-back. I like him as well.
Munoz.
Defence, you would have thought, and obviously they've got Daniel Munoz as well, who's going to come in from Crystal Palace, who can play that right.
They'll be fine,
well.
Forest. They'll be fine.
And I also think the defence is quite good as well.
Yep, I agree.
I think they've got... I didn't think that they were up to speed in the game that I went to on Tuesday night, but I think they will be.
It's still early, isn't it, in the season? They'll be absolutely fine, and Gibbs White will be creating chances as well for Liam Delap. But Troy's right in the sense that there's not massive competition for that Harry Kane spot, is there?
Massive concern.
Maybe not yet.
Ollie Watkins going off to Al Hilal. So who is the next?
Maggio Aston Villa is not for the next tournament, but in the future he'll definitely be an England international for me.
03717223344. Hasn't he played for Luxembourg already?
Yeah, but apparently he's going to choose England.
Interesting. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. Maybe Gareth Southgate spoke to him.
On the text, if you'd like to get in touch with us. This is talkSPORT.
The only ones that don't ever work.
Fine. There's another fine.
It's amazing.
Every time, please. There you go. Every time.
hold on.
It's going in a WhatsApp group. We set one up. Every time these fines come into the play,
so good.
right, we have a night out in December. One lucky listener of the Sports Bar will be able to come on the night out and spend Cundy's cash.
Hold on. I can't believe I've just seen the Ange mask.
Fine.
Can't happen, mate. Can't happen, mate. That can't happen.
We will
the Chelsea's mentioned too. This is disgusting. Sandbags gear as well. Who done this? Who's right?
I've sat down with management.
No, you haven't.
I have.
There's no way management involved in this.
I sat down with management.
I tell you, right, late to the office.
Yeah.
Mate, you better bring lots of cash with you.
I'm never late when the red light comes on.
Oh, that's so. Yeah. It says in the office, not studio.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah, but I decide when I turn up.
It's amazing. This is going to be so much.
How are you though, mate? You've got to
you know
watch
what, mate? I'm all right. I'm okay.
Mate, you're looking good.
Listen,
good side.
Yes, on the back of limo bikes. By the way, go and Google them. You want to get to A to B, limo bike.
Right. Add that to the list.
What do you mean?
Promotions.
No, it's fair enough.
Promotions that are not part of the Sports Bar.
You're making this up. You're like a dictator.
Added to the list. I was at the British Masters yesterday. I had a great time.
Right, okay,
fantastic.
There you go. Okay, good for you. Well done.
Sir Nick Faldo.
You asked
Legends.
me. I never asked you where you were.
I know.
But
so if you're going to promote stuff,
but
we can both do that.
When I ask you, you can tell me that. You're offering this info. No one cares. I don't care.
talkSPORT Sports Update with NordVPN. 24/7 digital privacy and protection in one easy-to-use app.
With your headlines at 2 minutes past 11, I'm Nick Ellaby. Good morning. Tim Sherwood's told us there are a few envious ex-Spurs managers out there with an eye on this £350 million summer spend. He says the club and De Zerbi needed it.
So they've done the business very early. I've obviously listened to the manager. He's getting what he wants, and he's obviously going to take it on the chin if it don't work out, because he's put himself under pressure to finish in Europa League minimum.
Spurs host Newcastle tomorrow evening. Now, Fabian Herzler says Yakuba Minte is still a Brighton player despite 2 rejected bids from Liverpool.
I demand from him that when this window is closed, that he's fully committed to this club. Of course, there are always dreams from players, and there are some wishes from players, but in the end, we always need to figure out what is best for the club.
Brighton are in the Conference League draw this lunchtime. That follows the Europa League draw. Now we're told the experienced Filip Hrgović will be 21-year-old Moses Atauma's toughest test yet. Their world title fight is live on talkSPORT tomorrow night. Former super featherweight world champion Barry Jones expects the cerebral Atauma to continue his rise to the top.
He thinks before he talks, he thinks before he moves. He has the space and the time to understand what's going on before he mounts an attack. And you can't teach that. You've got it or you haven't. It's like, you guys in football, you see 2 moves ahead.
And after threats of a boycott, day 2 of England's second test with Pakistan is back underway at Lord's. Sam Ellard's watching for talkSPORT.
Yeah, Pakistan threatening not to return to the field after lunch yesterday after the Pakistan Cricket Board lodged a formal complaint with Sky Sports for broadcasting an interview with Imran Khan's sons. They raised concerns about the Pakistan government's treatment of their father, who is the country's former Prime Minister and World Cup winning cricket captain. He's been held in solitary confinement for the past 3 years, and his deteriorating health has drawn focus in recent weeks. They were unhappy, the PCB, with Sky granting the Khans airtime, but the players did return to the field yesterday, and they've returned to the field this morning. We've just got underway on day 2. England 252 for 9. Gus Atkinson's got 34 runs to his name. Josh Tongue unbeaten on 5.
Thank you, Sam. Overseas listeners can get ball-by-ball commentary live on the talkSPORT YouTube.
talkSPORT News.
200 extra cops have been sent to Middlesbrough to help Cleveland police after multiple violent incidents there. And the death toll in Nepal has risen to 469. That's after flash flooding. Sinead has more in half an hour.
talkSPORT weather with QuickFit. This summer, treat yourself to Bridgestone Turanza all-season 6 tyres with a 25,000 mileage guarantee. Book today at quickfit.com. Conditions apply.
Heavy rain affecting parts of Scotland and northern England. Elsewhere, showers and sunny spells. Breezy, average temperatures.
How's that? Next March, the England cricket team face Australia in the 150th anniversary test match down under. And as always, the Barmy Army will be there. Thanks to talkSPORT, Visit Victoria could be too. Enter now at talksportwin.com for the chance to score an incredible week-long trip for two to watch the 150th anniversary test match in Melbourne with Visit Victoria and the Barmy Army. Enter now at talksportwin.com and get ready to experience the electric atmosphere that only a Barmy Army tour.
It's talkSPORT. It's Sam Matterface, Alex Crook and Gabby Agbonlahor, and we're building up to this weekend's live commentary. Crystal Palace tonight against Manchester City is live on the talkSPORT network. You can listen to it via our app or on your DAB radio or wherever you get talkSPORT, maybe even your television nowadays as well. Let's talk to Oliver Glasner about Liam Delap and why he signed the Chelsea striker.
I think everybody in the Premier League wanted Liam after his amazing season at Ipswich. And then when we heard that it's possible, and we were looking for a striker, of course, with physicality and especially with pace and runs in behind. So we have other profiles here. We have a top striker in the box with Chris Wood, who is a proven Premier League goal scorer. Yeah, we have the more, let's say, playing number 9 with Igor, and when Taiwo left, the one who made the runs in behind, we were missing, and then we were looking for this profile, and Liam is the perfect fit, and I think we are the perfect club for him, and I also I'm very convinced that he's the perfect player for us.
He's certainly a strong athletic build. He has that physicality and he does have the pace to run in behind. But has he got to make sure that he channels that physicality in the right way?
Yes, too many fouls he makes. You know, even blatant fouls where literally turns around and pushes the defender over. You got to be clever. You know, you've got to be in the box as well. Sometimes I've been watching him and he's not in the box to get those tap-ins that you see Haaland get. Strikers shouldn't care about what sort of goals you're scoring. If you're not in the 6-yard box, you're not going to score. But he's still young. He's not 19, 20, of course he's not, but he's still young in Premier League sense. And I think he can go on and improve his game and become a better striker. He's still got a lot to learn. Yeah, he can learn off Chris Wood.
Yeah, they broke their transfer record for a striker who scored just 3 goals in 47 Chelsea games. Crookie had that story first, by the way. He always does have the story first, and he will do right the way through till deadline day. I mean, he told us he'd had it first roughly 47 times over the course of the last week, but, you know, he does always get them first, which is, you've got to be first.
I might have been first.
Liam Delap was great at Ipswich. You don't just lose that talent. Needs more confidence and the goals will flow. Needs to be the main man again. Interestingly, Glasner really was talking him up there and playing into sort of like the idea of him being the number one.
He's not the first striker, though, Sam, to have pressure going to a big club like Chelsea and flopping. How many chances was he snatching at? And those sort of chances at Nottingham Forest, I bet he scores.
He didn't start
I was going to say, a lot of those appearances that you mentioned would have been off the bench, wouldn't they? And, you know, there's always added pressure when you know you're not first choice. You've got to come on and make an impact. And I do think sometimes maybe he was guilty of trying too hard.
Yeah.
Which is, you know, something that maybe Glasner can coach out of him because, as one texter here says, Glasner is an elite manager. The club have done brilliantly to get him. They should give him the time he needs to transform the club from being the roller coaster that it is. Yet already some fans are questioning his appointment. This is ridiculous. Sadly, this is the effect of Marinakis' impatience. It's rubbing us off on the most fickle of our fan base. We want stability, and if we do want that, we should stick with it. The boos on Tuesday night were astonishing. Get over yourselves and support the manager and the team. Yeah. I was there on Tuesday night, and I was a little bit surprised, actually, about the boos at Nottingham Forest. But fantastic, again, fan base. That Mulligan tie that goes out before the game always sort of gets the hairs on the back of your neck standing up. Carl is a Manchester City fan. Hi, Carl.
Hello, mate. How's it going? You okay?
Yeah, we're good, mate. What do you want to say?
Good, mate. Yeah. Good show, by the way. Enjoying the banter. Yeah, no worries, mate. So, obviously being a City fan, I saw a lot of Delap when he was coming up through the ranks.
Yeah.
And obviously there's a player in there. He was a proper bagsman in the under-21s and stuff. Broke through into, obviously, on the periphery of the first team. And then obviously made his move to Ipswich, where he was doing the business as well. Obviously the big move to Chelsea is a bit of there's pressure there, obviously. Quite a lot of money for a young age. And he didn't get a lot of game time, but I think this will be a good move for him because I think Gabby mentioned it just on the back end of your discussion then. I think he's a similar mould in terms of frame to Chris Wood, and I think Chris Wood can be a really good mentor for him. I think he needs to use his frame to his advantage rather than just being a battering ram. He needs to learn how to round his game, and I think Chris Wood would be a really, really good mentor for him to learn them sort of subtleties in them sort of areas up top, holding the ball up. And obviously he's got a finish in him. It's just rounding his game and sort of fine tuning it to get the most out of him.
Yeah, no, I totally agree, mate. I feel that sometimes just get back to basics. You know, he's a physical striker. Hold the ball up, lay it off, get in the box and score your goals. Sometimes strikers try and complicate it. You want to take too many touches. You want to look silky, which we know he can be. If he goes back to basics, I'm sure he'll have a good season.
Do you think it's just youthful enthusiasm, that sort of nature that he's got, where he's always sort of almost like a battering ram, bumping into people, making those fouls, you know? I mean, he had a really good game against Fulham on a Monday night in January, I think. Yes. It was the first game that Callum McFarlane took after Liam Rossini was appointed as Chelsea manager. They lost the game, actually, but he was really he was effective that night. But even in that game, gave away one or two.
Sometimes, though, Sam, he's a big lad. I remember one of the summers at Villa when I started getting on the weight, and I just felt like, you know what, I'm going to shoulder barge everyone here. And I was doing it in the Premier League. Sometimes you're a big lad, you're strong, you won that battle with a centre-half.
Did you win any of those battles?
Every single one, mate, yeah. You're not seeing Vidic on the floor.
It's funny, isn't it, when you talk to people like John Terry and Rio Ferdinand, all these big centre-backs, and they ask, who's the toughest opponent you played against? I've never heard Gabby Agbonlahor.
Really? Was it you, Crookie, on them charity games? No, because you didn't move as a striker. No, but I feel like the lap has to stop that because fouls are given for anything now, aren't they, in the Premier League? And I'm sure Glasner will be saying to him, yes, hold your own, but silly foul's just going to put your team back.
Do you think that Nottingham Forest can get anything tomorrow at Liverpool?
100% they can.
And they've got a really good
I think it's a great time to play Liverpool.
Do you?
Yeah, because the pressure's going to be on Iriola. First game at Anfield. The fans are going to be looking for a lot from Isak and Wirtz. I think Murillo, Milenkovic, like you says, Nico Williams, Aina. I think they've got a decent side. Nottingham Forest, and I'm sure Morgan Gibbs-White. He likes to shine, doesn't he, on these big occasions?
Yeah, but is he fit?
Hopefully.
Didn't play in midweek because of a ligament injury in his knee, and they were resting him a little bit.
Be a big miss if he's not available.
Yeah, and he's actually been very good at Anfield. Scored or assisted in 3 of Forest's last 6 league goals at Anfield, and he's the Premier League's top scorer of the 2026 calendar year on
Liverpool.
12. Yeah. Well, it's going to be a fascinating game. It's live on talkSPORT from 12:30 tomorrow. It'll be interesting what happens when the team news drops as well. I will keep you in touch with that and all of the other games that take place over the weekend. 3 o'clock kickoffs in the Premier League tomorrow. Adrian Durham will take you around the grounds from 2:30. And again, studying the team news is interesting, especially at this time of the year, because deadline day is fast approaching. Tuesday night, we'll have a special programme on Tuesday to make sure that you see yourself through the deadline with all the information that you need. Jim White and Alex Crook will be here from 10 o'clock in the morning and at the night. And Adrian Durham's doing a very special kickoff show on Tuesday at 7 o'clock. This is talkSPORT.
saw Martin doing his interview afterwards and covering the players. It was an appallingly cowardly performance from Celtic.
Cowardly?
Yeah, I think so. I mean, the goal that really started the rot was an unforgivable error from one of their players knocking it back into the space where the guy can just run in and score a goal, which brought them back from the dead, this team. And then to concede goals directly after half-time, you wonder what managers say to these players at half-time that makes them so unresponsive that they go and concede a goal. But I thought it was a dreadful performance. And all this nonsense about, they might have got lucky in the first leg. I didn't hear that narrative being spun out when they won the first leg 3-0. All of a sudden, people are saying, well, they got lucky in the first leg. They did have a lot of shots on goal, this team. Their expected XG was 3 last week, but they didn't score 3. They scored 0.
Yeah.
And in this instance, you look at the performance and you go, what Martin taking the blame for it. This is not about Martin O'Neill. This was about the players on the field. And they didn't buy this player. And they sold £36 million worth of players and they only bought in £32 million worth of players. And the players that came off the bench didn't look like they had the wherewithal. It should never got to the stage where extra time came to play and the players that came off the bench look all lost. They were just cowardly. They were 4-0 up in a Champions League qualifier with the game done. They hand them back an initiative by giving them 1 goal, and then they absolutely capitulate.
Yes, yeah. Cowardly.
But I mean, I know that will be extra, that will be lifted up and maybe quoted somewhere else. But you can't think of any other word. Now, Martin can do all the best he wants. Now, Martin will be privately seething and sitting there and realising that the players have let him down.
Fuming.
But what he will do as an old school manager is deflect from the players and make it about himself. There's nothing about what Martin O'Neill did on that pitch that could legislate or on the dugout or what tactics set up that can legislate for a capitulation of that order.
Yeah.
How's that? Next March, the England cricket team face Australia in the 150th anniversary test match down under. And as always, the Barmy Army will be there. Thanks to talkSPORT and Visit Victoria. Could be too. Enter now at talksportwin.com for the chance to score an incredible week-long trip for 2 to watch the 150th anniversary test match in Melbourne with Visit Victoria and the Barmy Army. Enter now at talksportwin.com and get ready to experience the electric atmosphere that only a Barmy Army tour delivers.
Matterface, Alex Crook and Gabby Agbonlahor with Selco Builders Warehouse. Check out this month's real deal at selcobw.com. Let's go off to the second test between England and Pakistan at Lord's. Sam Ellard can give us an update on what's happened so far this morning.
Yeah, 20 minutes played on day 2. England 259 for 9, so Pakistan still searching for that final wicket. Mohammad Abbas has 4 wickets. He picked up 3 early on yesterday on day 1. He thought he had his 5th. He found the outside edge of Josh Tongue's bat. The ball went flying past second slip, but somehow Babar Azam, the Pakistan captain, didn't have a third slip in place, and it was runs for Josh Tongue. There was also a massive LBW appeal from Mohammad Abbas to Josh Tongue, given not out on field. There was a review. The ball, though, sliding down the leg side. So Josh Tongue's got 10. Gus Atkinson playing nicely at 8, unbeaten on 36. We had a fascinating day yesterday. It really ebbed and flowed. Pakistan got off to a really good start, winning the toss, bowling first in cloudy conditions, having England 36 for 3. England battled back well throughout the afternoon, getting the score 187 for 5, both Cox and Smith with 50s. But then Pakistan ended the day on a high note with 4 late wickets, 4 wickets in 8 overs. But given England were asked to bat yesterday in tricky conditions, felt they passed 250 runs, they'll be relatively pleased. Atkinson's got 36, Tongue's got 10. Pakistan searching for that final wicket this morning. Here are Laws on day 2 of this second test. England are 261 for 9.
Thank you very much, Sam Allard. England had a good summer so far against Pakistan. See how they get on. We'll keep in touch with Sam throughout the course of the day. Certainly not a very good summer for Rangers. In fact, for Scottish football, only Hearts in the Conference League and Celtic in the Europa League after Motherwell, Hibs, Rangers all out of Europe before September. But of course, the pressure, most of it, is on Derek McInnes. Hi lads, great show. I'm a long-suffering Ibrox supporter and still believe McInnes will get it right. Can do what Fergie did at United, take time, but get it right. Anil in the West Midlands. He's absolutely devastated last night.
Yeah.
He was talking about being embarrassed and he was sorry for it. I mean, just listening to the tone of his voice, you get the sort of sense that he was mortified, really.
First of all, embarrassed with the performance. I think the only people who represented the club well tonight were my staff, the support staff, and the preparation. We do so much right here to get the players ready and in peak condition to go and perform. And the supporters who, to man, were outstanding, getting behind the team. Despite watching what we all watched, it wasn't a good performance at any stretch of the imagination. I'm not going to sit here and make any excuses whatsoever. It wasn't good enough. Yes, there's been a big turnover of players. Yes, we look very inexperienced at times. But the responsibility is mine to make sure that we are better than what we served up tonight. And we were miles short. But our press wasn't good enough. When the press was good and we go man for man, we're not strong enough in the challenges, we're not strong enough to win second balls, we don't win tackles. And I thought the opposition were better than us in most aspects of the game. So we got what we deserved. If we'd won it in penalties, we'd have took it, of course, because of how important it is. But we'd only have covered over the cracks, to be honest. I'm mortified with the performance. And I know you can lose games if you can, been in it a long time, but we should have enough in the building to take care of that tonight.
Damning indictment of the state of the team from Derek McInnes, the manager of Rangers. He said even if we had won tonight, it would have been papering over the cracks. How much responsibility does he have for that? And how much of this is a wider issue about Scottish football?
I think it needs time. You know, I've seen some reports last night from some Rangers fans saying he should leave and he should take Shankland with him. It's nonsense. You can't keep sacking managers. I think he will get it right. He's a talented manager. Look what he did with Dublin Hearts last season. So close to winning that SPL. But some of the players have got to do better. You know, you look at the players that they had available last night compared to their opponents, they should be winning that game comfortably. It's getting quite embarrassing for Rangers fans. They've got 2 games against Celtic coming up, and they better get some good results in those 2 games because these Rangers fans, I'm sure, are ready to explode.
It leaves them without European football beyond August for the first time since the 2-1 aggregate defeat by Luxembourg's Progress Niederkorn in the Europa League first qualifying round in 2017. He's had a hapless start to his reign at Rangers, really, including the Europa League exit against Jagiellonia Bialystok and a draw and a defeat in their opening 2 Premiership games as well. Andy Halliday was on the Breakfast Show this morning, and he thought it was really quite interesting because they're not the only ones that are suffering. I mean, Rangers will get the headlines because they're a massive club and they're not playing European football and they're not playing particularly well. But to look at the state of Scottish football and the teams performing so badly after such an amazing season, which sort of captured everyone's interest, is a real sort of lack of... I suppose it's a missed opportunity to build on what was a really good season last season for Scottish football in terms of entertainment.
It's been a humiliating week for Scottish football. We're talking about Rangers this morning because it's fresh in the mind last night. But what about Celtic and their aberration earlier in the week to get themselves knocked out when they were at one stage 4-0 up on aggregate is absolutely disgraceful, really. And I think it's a a huge problem for the Scottish authorities now, that not just this season, but recent European performances, probably ever since Rangers got to that final in Seville when they lost to Oliver Glasner on penalties. The record in Europe since then has been poor, and I don't see how it gets any better. I think these are two of the worst Celtic and Rangers squads, probably the two worst Celtic and Rangers squads, certainly since Rangers climbed back up the leagues in my lifetime. And that's why they're performing so badly in Europe. I mean, the fact Celtic managed to win the league last year when they hired a numpty from the MLS mid-season and actually won the double, would have won the treble if they just kept Martin O'Neill in charge. I think that tells you all you need to know about the state of Scottish football.
Well, we're in August. You know, soon we're going to be in September. You could say 2 more defeats in the next 3 or 4 games for Rangers, their season could be over.
Well, and that's
incredible.
That's not only bad for Rangers, that's bad for Scottish football. And that's really what I'm talking about. You know, last year we had such a brilliant title race that it became part of the conversation. Yep. Everyone was talking about Hearts. Everyone was talking about.
But it was only a brilliant title race because Rangers and Celtic were off it for a long time.
Okay. But
it still was, though.
It was an opportunity to build on that. People were interested in it. Yeah. That's important. You know, you can say it's because the quality was worse, but it was engaging, it was entertaining, there was something different happening. So people were actually interested in it. So once you've got the interest of people, capitalise on that, and then let's see what happens next. Now we've got a situation where Celtic are probably going to run away with the league. The teams are all out of Europe before it's even got interesting, and it's becoming a national embarrassment.
They got so unlucky, didn't they, Rangers? Didn't they turn down £22 million for Shemetti, and then he'd done his a bad knee injury the next day?
Yeah.
That sort of bad luck isn't good for you either. But Rangers fans, I mean, they've suffered enough, haven't they? It's humiliating for them.
But I do think I still go back to the fact that I think they sort of almost did it to themselves, really. The Scottish authorities by relegating Rangers the way they did.
But they did. They have got to a European final since then.
Okay, but they spent a whole large part of the end of the 2010s. Trying to drag themselves back up the league. Yeah. So a lot of interest went out of Scottish football because you knew he was going to win the league.
And it also gave Celtic all the financial power
exactly,
as well.
And that's why they've got money sitting in the bank, but they're not even bothering to spend it as much as they used to because
they don't need to.
We look at Celtic's squad of players. I know it's not one of their best in the last 20 years, but they've got some exciting players. You know, I really like Duran. We talk about the signing Hassan, Egyptian winger. He's a very good player. So I think they will comfortably win the SPL this season. And where does that leave Rangers?
Well, also, you know, the other thing is that Andy Halliday was really interesting was the fact that there is no bridge between youth team football in Scotland. So when you get to 16 and you're a decent player, if you're not ready for the first team, you get discarded because there's no reserve league. There's no SPL2 in effect where the younger players can operate and can try and get some first team football. And he was talking about the fact that what they've tended to do is that they fill the team with ballast of foreign players that aren't really any better than the players that they've got, but they're cheaper to get in and they're ready-made rather than waiting for the youngsters to develop. And what that does is that stifles the development of any young Scottish player, and you end up in a situation where you have less of a pool to pick from, and hence why the Scottish manager's job is also so very difficult.
Yeah, they need more, don't they, coming through the youth teams? Celtic and Rangers, Scottish football in general. I mean, you talk about the centre halves that played in the World Cup.
Well, the structure seems to be wrong, doesn't it?
Yeah, Grant Hanley in his 30s. You're talking about the centre halves that are playing. Where's the under-21s? Where's the stars coming through? Where's the new Ali McCoist? All the Scottish strikers in their 30s now. Che Adams scored a great goal the other day, but Shankland's in his 30s. Lyndon Dykes, how is he still being picked for the Scottish national side? Where's the up-and-coming striker?
I've seen Ali McCoist play in six-a-side games.
Still play.
I reckon he could still play now, to be honest.
Yeah, he can still finish.
Yeah, that is
no doubt about that.
03717 223344. You can text us 81089 if you want to get in touch. Crookie's transfer notebook before 12 today. And we'll do the latest odds ahead of a big weekend of live football on talkSPORT, which is coming up next. This is talkSPORT with Sam Matterface, Alex Crook, and Gabby Agbonlahor. We're here with Selco Builders Warehouse. Check out this month's real deals at selcobw.com.
Daniel Petit, joined the station yesterday and spoke on the difference that he could make to this Liverpool side.
On the left flank, this guy can make so many differences. And this is what missing as well with Liverpool, the speed, something that can be fast, running with the ball, that can not scare, of fighting against defenders. And this is exactly what they are missing at Liverpool. They have good players, but they need, modern football is based on the fast players, who can make this decision within a few seconds, can make differences, with the ball. And I don't think many players, at Liverpool actually for that.
Well, he's right, Gabby, isn't he? Oh. I mean, it's not all about pace, but I tell you what, nowadays, if you
pace kills, Ali.
Oh my goodness! Come on. Well, you know better than MD. You know better than MD, mate.
Pace kills, Ali, and Liverpool would be interesting how they set up now, Ali, with Barcola in the team, because they could half in certain games, Ali, sit back a little bit,
Yeah.
Bring the opposition out and Barcola on the counter.
I agree with you. However, I think that'd be very, very difficult to do for any Liverpool side at Anfield.
Yes,
because I'm not
sure.
More
away from home.
The fans just, and quite rightly, encourage them to go and attack, and they've been used to that for years and years. So I hear what you're saying, but I think it'd be very difficult.
That threat though as well, Ali. Just having that pace. Like Sean says, it scares defenders.
Of course it does.
You okay. Right side centre half's got to squeeze over and double up on Barcola. You can't leave him 1v1. He's ripping any defender in the Premier League 1v1. Yeah. He's unstoppable, Ali. You can't be quick and tall and long strides and everything. He's a different animal.
talkSPORT News.
Good morning. With your headlines, I'm Sinead Garvan. More than 200 extra police officers are being deployed to Middlesbrough after a series of violent incidents in the area. 2 officers were killed in a head-on collision with a car going the wrong way down the A66. A 7-year-old girl and her auntie died in a deliberate house fire nearby. The Labour leader of the local council, Alec Brown, says people are scared.
We've had 9 deaths in the space of 6 days, starting with that horrific A66 crash. I mean, to lose 9 lives in such close proximity of each other, and that's led to people feeling unsafe in their own home.
Last night, cars were set alight during a vigil for one of the young men killed in the A66 crash last weekend. Rescue efforts in Nepal were halted briefly because of the risk of more flash floods. Hundreds of people are still missing, including 33 Britons, while the death toll has reached 477. Autism and ADHD care is at risk of descending into chaos. That's the warning from NHS bosses as it emerges the amount of money being spent by health trusts on diagnosis has risen by up to 10 times in the last year. And the PM's cracking down on cowboy builders. He's introducing new measures to help people find trusted traders to stop people getting ripped off.
talkSPORT Sports Headlines with Bostik. For workable, easy-to-apply mortar that tools easily, pros trust Bostik.
We're told there are plenty of envious ex-Spurs managers following their £350 million summer spend, and the second test resumes following a threatened boycott by Pakistan. Will has more at 12.
Here's that. Next March, the England cricket team face Australia in the 150th anniversary Test match down under. And as always, the Barmy Army will be there. Thanks to talkSPORT, Visit Victoria could be too. Enter now at talksportwin.com for the chance to score an incredible week-long trip for 2 to watch the 150th anniversary Test match in Melbourne with Visit Victoria and the Barmy Army. Enter now at talksportwin.com and get ready to experience the electric atmosphere that only...
Good morning to you. It's time to catch up with the latest odds, all thanks to BetMGM.
It's showtime on talkSPORT with BetMGM. We're ready for the action. Are you? Visit betmgm.co.uk or download the app. 18+. GambleAware.org.
talkSPORT, Sam Matterface, Alex Crook and Gabby Agbonlahor. We're joined now by Alex Licence from BetMGM to look at today's top events and discuss the latest odds. Hi, Alex.
Morning, guys. How are we doing?
Very good. Thank you very much. Good to see you. And obviously, there's a lot of discussion about transfer news, and you're running some markets on the transfer.
We are, yeah. I know you've done a little bit on the transfers, so I'll mention some of the prices that we've got. Rafael Leao now 1 to 3 to sign for Aston Villa. Julian Alvarez 11 to 10 to sign for Arsenal. Adam Wharton, we've had Liverpool favourites for him pretty much all window, but Chelsea, they are now the even money favourites with the expectation that Enzo is on his way to City, who are also second favourites at 2 to 1 for Wharton, along with Man United and Liverpool at 7 to 2, which I'm quite surprised at because, in my opinion, they definitely need another midfielder. Alex Scott, he's currently odds on at 4 to 5 to sign for Chelsea. And like I said, it feels like there is a lot of business to be done before the window closes. In your opinion, lads, who needs to do what in the Premier League?
Well, Crookie can give us a little bit more of a rundown of how likely he thinks those transfers are.
Well, look, to answer Alex's question, Aston Villa, obviously Gabby's old club, need reinforcements. I think Newcastle are going to be busy. Manchester United need to back Michael Carrick, in my opinion. Not sure if that's going to happen or not. In terms of the odds he just gave there, I think Adam Wharton is going to stay at Palace, actually. He seems
Palace need a little bit more, don't they? Especially if they're losing Munoz.
Yeah, they're working hard on that. But so many midfielders have changed hands for big money this summer. It almost feels like Adam Wharton is the odd one out, and I'm not sure why, because I think he's a terrific player. I think he should have probably been part of England's World Cup squad. Great for Palace to keep him, but slightly surprised that a big club haven't tried a lot harder. Of the other players he mentioned there, Rafael Leao does seem to be leaning towards Aston Villa, despite the fact he could earn more money in Turkey. And obviously Julian Alvarez is a fascinating situation because Atletico Madrid have made it clear they won't sell him to Barcelona.
He hasn't trained for the last 3 days.
No, he hasn't. They're clearly trying to force him out. They want him to go to Arsenal, and Arsenal want to sign him, but at the moment it's down to the player whether he actually wants to make that move or not.
Interesting. Okay, well, let's move on to tonight's live football. Crystal Palace against Manchester City. Live on talkSPORT from 8 o'clock. And I imagine that Manchester City will be big favourites.
They are, yeah. City, the 4 to 6 favourites here. They're looking to make it 2 from 2 after that comeback against Bournemouth. City won both Premier League meetings with Palace 3-0 last year, and they do really dominate the head-to-head record, having lost just 2 of the last 22 Premier League ties with Palace and haven't actually lost at Selhurst for over 10 years. Palace, from what I saw, were relatively unlucky against Everton last week, but they are the outsiders, just short of 4 to 1 to pick up the first win under the new gaffer, and then the draw is a bit shorter at 3 to 1. It is worth mentioning that we are giving customers a completely free bet builder on the Premier League this weekend, so that can be used on tonight or a game of your choice over the weekend. But we had a discussion this morning. What do you expect from City this season? There is lots of change there, like a lot of clubs this season, but I just can't see them putting too much pressure on Arsenal. I know it's early days, but where are you at with City?
I think you say that, but I look at, Renzo Fernandes signs for them. They've already signed Buadi, Anderson as well. Look at that for 3 centre midfielders that one of them could rotate. Shirky looked very sharp last game, didn't he? Getting 2 assists. You've got Semenyo, Doku, Haaland. Maybe defensively they're not as strong as Arsenal, but I still back them to finish above Chelsea.
Do you know what? It's interesting because I look at Cherki and I look at a player who looks very frustrated with the fact that he's not starting games. Enzo Maresca sort of referenced that during the course of the week. I look at Phil Foden starting matches but not having the kind of impact that we would hope for him to have. You mentioned the midfield players. They've all got to settle in yet. We don't know how that's going to work out. Spence still looks like it's not quite settled under Enzo Maresca. The football's a little bit less high octane than it was under Pep Guardiola. Feels to me like very much a club in transition this year, and I'm not sure they're going to be the closest challengers to Arsenal, in my opinion.
No, despite what I was saying at the top of the programme, ribbing you, going forward, Chelsea look the biggest threat, but I say the biggest threat.
Hold on a second. So basically, you started the show by telling me that I was talking nonsense, and now when it comes to a serious discussion, you're saying, actually, I think you might be right.
Well, no, yes and no, because I don't see any challenges actually for Arsenal. I think they're going to win the league at a canter. I think they'll win it more comfortably than last season. I think all the other clubs, even on what we've seen just
if there is a
opening couple of weeks of the
season,
season,
it's going to be Chelsea.
I've got questions to answer. Well, based on what we saw last weekend.
There might not be much in it either. I agree. I think Arsenal win it comfortably, and then it could be a few points between Chelsea and Manchester City finishing second and third. I don't see much in it. I just think Arsenal are too good.
Okay, let's move on to Golden Goals. Each week we'll be placing a prediction on some of the upcoming games on Golden Goals. If we correctly guess right the exact scoreline, BetMGM will donate £500. Now, Alex, you may well, just to our chosen charity, Prostate Cancer UK, you know that Alex has got a terrible record at this, but I don't think we all started very well last weekend.
No.
I was arguably closest, wasn't I?
Yes, you was, Crookie.
Thank you, Gabs.
Yeah, I am very aware, of course, of Crook's record. Dan, Mr. Towers has made me certainly aware of that. Like you said, sadly, no correct scores or even any correct results from you boys last weekend. Crookie, you were the closest with 2-1 Liverpool. Gabby, a bit optimistic with Villa, 3-1 at Brighton.
Yeah, that
and
was
then Sam,
10 men.
You had a draw for Spurs and Brentford as well.
God.
Oh, that's a shocker.
So you two both got battered.
Sam, you know so much about
that's why I
football.
was
Well,
closest.
hold on a second. Newcastle were 2-1 up until the 98th minute and only got in because of a soft penalty. So how can Liverpool 2-1 be close?
It's not great from you though, Sam. You know so much about football to be so far.
Don't be don't be stirring.
Did your new app give you that prediction?
The new app doesn't give predictions.
Gremlins in the system.
All it does is respond to the research that I put into it.
Exactly.
It's just like it's a way of accessing information.
Yes.
I'll give you a tour later. Sorry, Alex, we interrupted you. Golden goals this week, then.
Yeah, so the free-to-play game on the app predicts 6 correct scores and win up to £250,000, and you can get prizes from 2 correct scores and upwards. It is worth mentioning that in the first 2 weeks this season, nobody who's played has got more than 3 correct scores, so it has been a little bit of a tricky start. So, yeah, things can only get better after last week as well, can't they? Gabby, I'm going to start with you,
Yes.
and we've given you the Dan Towers derby, Tottenham and Newcastle.
So I'm going to go 2-2. I thought Vissa looked very sharp. I thought Elanga took his goal very well, the way he basically tortured Kirkes running through with that speed. I thought Willer took his goal very well as well. Newcastle looked okay. Held their own against Liverpool. I look at Spurs. I think they can't get any worse than that performance against Brentford. Home game as well. They need to improve their home records. And they've got the mighty Savio that everyone keeps saying is an outstanding player for 85 million. So I'm sure he will step up and get a brace. So 2-2.
Yeah, I agree. I think goals is the play here. There's never actually been a goalless draw between Tottenham and Newcastle in the Premier League. Yeah, so 2-2, just short of 10-1 at 19-2. Spurs have pretty horrible record in recent years against Newcastle, losing 6 of the last 8 and haven't kept a clean sheet in any of the last 14. So yeah, all stats do lead to goals, so I look forward to the inevitable stalemate at 12-1. Crookie, next up, your boys, Man United.
Come on.
Go on, Alex.
It's your time, Crookie. Come on.
My time to shine.
Come on, mate.
Well, we're going to be there on Sunday, game day live from Old Trafford.
He's already decided how he's going to react if they lose, by the way, just to let you know.
A lot of pressure all of a sudden on Michael Carrick just 1 week into the season because of that abomination of a performance that I had to sit through at Hull at the weekend. I do think United...
You didn't sit through it all, you walked out.
Well, yeah, in protest. I do think United will win. The home record under Carrick has largely been rock solid, but it won't be easy. It never is. I'm going to go 2-1 to Manchester United. I do think Ipswich have done some quite good business in this window.
Interesting.
Yeah, 2-1 is 13-2. Man United out unbeaten in the last 8 home games against Ipswich, winning 6 of those 8. And, well, surely you can't be as bad as you were at Hull. Sam, last but not least, we have given you Chelsea-Brighton.
Ah, yes, okay. I think there'll be goals in the game, mainly because Chelsea concede a lot, but they also look as if they can score for fun every time they go forward. It's a home game. Xabi Alonso started well with 2 good performances and, good results as well. I think it's heading in the right direction. The atmosphere in the dressing room is actually really good yesterday. We're down in the tunnel, everyone's smiling, happy, looking forward to a good season. Brighton, good team, really good team. But last week, you're sort of looking at their performance against an Aston Villa side that were really undercooked and made serious mistakes. So I think they'll score because they always do. They always give Chelsea a game. I'm going to go Chelsea 3, Brighton 2.
Yeah, I think this will be a really good game and a proper test for Chelsea, who have lost the last 3 against Brighton and conceded 3 on all those occasions. 3-2 league win is quite chunky, 20-1. So, yeah, just to recap that, Gabby, you've got 2-2 Tottenham, Newcastle, Crookie, 2-1 Man United, and Sam a 3-2 win for Chelsea. So let's hope the luck can change and we can raise some money for prostate cancer.
Looking forward to another good weekend. That was a look at the latest odds, all thanks to BetMGM. Visit betmgm.co.uk. Download the app, 18+, begambleaware.org.
It's showtime on talkSPORT with BetMGM. Keep things golden with responsible play at betmgm.co.uk. 18+, gambleaware.org.
Sam Matterface, Alex Crook and Gabby Agbonlahor. By the way, I haven't told you about his new obsession that he's got.
What is it?
Went to Newcastle for the first time in his life this weekend.
Okay.
And he is obsessed with the big market.
Yeah. Oh, really?
Sam, when are we going to go out? We need to sort out a League One night out in the big market. Get all our fantasy team together and we go up there and have a big night out. We need to do that. I loved it.
You
did.
What was that bar we were in? Filthies?
I can't remember.
Filthies?
Had a band on every
Filthies?
floor. 3 different floors. I'm sure it was called Filthies.
Filthies?
Yeah.
What a name?
I think that's where you went after I'd gone home.
What time did you get there? 2 a.m.
And we got recommended a karaoke bar. We never quite made it there, did we?
We better break.
Fully paid up member of the Newcastle Supporters Club. He said to me, I think we should move up here, by the way.
We did get very well treated by the locals.
We did. We had a lovely, lovely time. Thank you very much for looking after us this week. This is talkSPORT with Sam Matterface, Alex Crook and Gabby Agbonlahor with Selco Builders Warehouse. Check out this month's real deals at selcobw.com.
So he was shouting, apparently, Allez l'homme, go Olympique Marseille, which, of course, is like putting oil in water when it comes to Lyon fans. They absolutely detest Olympique Marseille and they detest Guendouzi, and they showed that in their reaction. Simon, who's more at fault in these flashpoints, though? Ferreira, the goalkeeping coach, reacted in a big way, and that led to widespread scuffles. Is it the provocateur, who in this case is Guendouzi, or is it those who take the bait? In this case, the Lyon fans, the Lyon players, and the Lyon goalkeeping coach.
Well, there's degrees of responsibility and culpability, but Guendouzi is the fire starter. Guendouzi's behaviour, as it was when he played in this country and decided that he could run around a football pitch telling everyone how poor they were in comparison to him, which ultimately got him shipped out of Arsenal.
Who did he tell that how much he
Neil
earned?
Maupay.
Neil Maupay of Brighton. Yeah.
And I think it was Wenger, wasn't it? Had just about enough of him and said, "Doubt."
It was Arteta.
Was it Arteta?
Yeah, he did enough of him.
Sorry, it was Arteta who binned him off. And here he goes again. Now, people are responsible for their own behaviour, so everybody is culpable, and everybody in terms of the professionals on the field, the players, and the support staff that have got involved should have a consequence for it.
Yeah.
But he should have the primary consequence, because without his provocation, without his antagonising nature, without his ridiculous over egging of the pudding and baiting and inflammatory, the fans are not professional footballers.
How's that? Next March, the England cricket team face Australia in the 150th anniversary test match down under. And as always, the Barmy Army will be there. And thanks to talkSPORT, visit Victoria. You could be too. Enter now at talksportwin.com for the chance to score an incredible week-long trip for two to watch the 150th anniversary test match in Melbourne with Visit Victoria and the Barmy Army. Enter now at talksportwin.com and get ready to experience the electric atmosphere that only a Barmy Army tour delivers.
It's talkSPORT, Sam Matterface, Alex Crook, and we've got Gabby Agbonlahor with us today. Should we do the transfer notebook in just a second? But first of all, let's go and check in with the cricket at Lords and find out how England are getting on. They're still there, hanging on, the tail enders. Hanging on, Sam Ellard.
Important runs for England. This 10th wicket partnership is now worth 37 runs. Gus Atkinson playing really nicely once again. So often for England, he scores important runs down the order. He's unbeaten on 41. Josh Tongue, England's number 11, not out on 24. They put on 37 runs for this 10th wicket partnership and are frustrating Pakistan as they look to claim the final wicket. Gus Atkinson has been dropped on 38. A tough chance, though. Mohammad Abbas coming in to bowl. Atkinson hammering the ball back towards the Abbas in his follow-through. He hardly has any time to react and he drops the catch, but it was a tough one for Mohammad Abbas. But this is a good morning session so far for England. Tongue's got 28, Atkinson 41. England now 284 for 9.
That was Sam Ellard, who's at Lords. Thank you very much for keeping us up to date with that. Let's get to a couple of text messages. Guys, I've been DJing in the big market for 12 years. Flares every Friday. When you do decide to come back, let me know and we'll get you looked after. Best night in the world. Joe, ref, get that number. Yeah, we'll keep hold of
There's
that
a Potweld in Newcastle as well, isn't there? I do love a Potweld.
You enjoy Potweld more than Filthies?
Well, actually, Mac, another of the guys at BetMGM, he's texted me and said, disappointed you and Sam didn't make it to Cozy Joe's on Sunday evening. That's the karaoke.
I did go there yesterday, didn't I? I took a picture of it.
Cozy Joe's sounds a great place.
But he does go on to say, I can confirm the bar you went to is in fact called Filthies.
There you go.
Interesting.
You liked it because there was an acoustic guitarist playing Ella Langley.
Ella Langley, yeah.
Of course.
Yeah, which we loved that.
It's a great song, by the way.
It is.
Big fan.
It is. Right, okay, let's move on to the transfer notebook rather than his little black book and start with, should we start with Newcastle United and Nick Voltemade? Because it looks like actively Newcastle are trying to edge him out the door.
Yeah, I certainly think they have intermediaries working on an exit plan. There's been a bit of interest from Napoli. I think his preference would be to go back to the Bundesliga, and he's got people working on that for him. I think it does mean that Newcastle are going to need to sign at least one attacker between now and 11 o'clock next week, but they're working on that. And yeah, what does he say about Voltemade? Only a year after his big money move, didn't even get on the pitch, did he?
Not having him.
Liverpool.
Not having
Well, he played 90 minutes of the game that I was at on Wednesday night, and he struggled even in that match, really. I just wonder whether or not that the Premier League is just a little bit too quick for him.
Yeah, but I think any league, to be honest, he's that slow. He's too quick for him. Like, I'm just not sure what he brings to the team.
Is that a bit harsh, Gav?
No, because even when he drops into the 10 position, it's a bit slow and he might do a little
Still
turn.
a young player, mate.
Yeah, I'm not having him, mate. I'm really not. Even in the air, he's not outstanding in the air for such a tall player. Yeah, not for me. There's a reason why Newcastle are trying to get him out the door.
Hull City and Ryan Giles is an interesting one. I thought it was terrific last Saturday. I spoke to him afterwards, actually, and he was in good spirits. I wouldn't expect him to go out of the door, but might he?
Man of the match with the Premier League against Manchester United. I would expect him to start against Coventry in the game that I'm at tomorrow, but Burnley want to take him on loan with an option to buy, and Hull haven't completely ruled that out. I think the issue they've got, obviously we know they're signing so many players. I think the owner has come on this programme and said we might have 16 new faces by the end of the window. That means you're going to need to trim the squad, and Ryan Giles obviously is in demand, so it might be that they reluctantly agreed to that. They were trying to sign Toby Collier as well from Manchester United. In fact, I think he's even had a medical at Hull, but he's now off to West Brom in what I think will be
a big game tomorrow, isn't it? You said you're at that game. It's a big game, isn't it? Coventry Hull. If Hull can win that, back-to-back wins in the Premier League, first two games, but big pressure on a Coventry as well to get a result at home.
Yeah, and again, I was looking at the odds with the bookmakers this morning. They're sort of 3-1 Hull to win that game. They were as big as 8-1. 8.5-1 to beat Manchester United. I do wonder if we're sleeping on them a little bit because we know what's going to happen. Coventry at home, first time in the Premier League for 25 years at home. They're going to dominate possession. The onus is going to be on them to play on the front foot. That will suit Hull because they'll do what they did against Manchester United and what they did last season. They're going to sit deep. They're going to get men behind the ball and try and hit on the counter. Wouldn't surprise me if they did win.
Good game to watch, that'll be.
Come on, Cov.
Yeah,
I want Cov to get off the mark.
Yeah,
I'm in the Hull camp.
Does the Hull City owner know you said? Maybe we can play that to the Hull City owner later on.
He won't be getting his.
He won't be happy, Sam.
To be honest with you,
Hull versus Chelsea, no tickets for you.
Frank Lampard doing well at Coventry City is important.
Agreed.
They weren't great. I mean, that was against Arsenal, but they weren't great, were they, last Friday night?
Hard to judge them on that game.
I think it's a bit difficult to work out where they are at the moment. They'll find it. We'll find out on Saturday when they play Hull City. We'll keep you in touch with that on talkSPORT. Endrick, possibly, as a target for Arsenal, who are also involved in this sort of psychodrama with Atletico Madrid over Julian Alvarez.
Yeah, I think they're just keeping a watching brief on that one at the moment and waiting for some encouragement between now and Tuesday that Alvarez actually would like to make the move. Obviously, Andrea Berta was in charge of transfers at Atletico when Alvarez signed from Manchester City, so there is a good relationship yet there. But they're looking around. Obviously, we know they tried for Vinicius, they tried for Morgan Rogers before he went to Chelsea, and there have been some exploratory talks, as I understand it, between Real Madrid and Arsenal for Endrick. I'm not sure it's going to happen, but I think they feel they need another attacking player, particularly with Martinelli expected to complete that move to Al Hilal.
It's incredible, isn't it, that Alvarez situation with the Atletico Madrid fans booing him, and he's dying to go Barcelona, but they've said 100% he's not going to Barcelona. If I'm Alvarez, listen, Arsenal, yes, it'd be a good move, but if your heart's set on Barcelona, does he just stay there and say, no, I'm not being forced to go somewhere I don't really want to go?
He's been at Atletico Madrid for a year.
No, but he's got his mind set on Barcelona, hasn't he?
It's become quite toxic, isn't it? The relationship between him and the Atletico.
Well, he's not even training at the moment, which is a big problem. For him, I think he's at a great club, playing in the Champions League. He goes to Arsenal. He's not guaranteed to play every single week, but there's a lot of money for Arsenal to spend again. But if they won't let him go to Barcelona, he should probably just knuckle down and enjoy his life.
Exactly. I agree. Stay where you are.
Very odd situation that it seems to have got themselves.
Do you want a couple of championship ones? We shouldn't neglect the
Well,
EFL.
I haven't finished my list yet.
Okay, go on.
Daniel Munoz to Forest, we think he's going to go through.
£22 million bid. Palace are considering it. I'd imagine they might go back and ask for a bit more. But yeah, I think he is somebody that they are willing to move on. I think that'd be a good signing for Forest. Obviously, knows the manager, knows the system.
Strange from Palace.
What happens to Palace then in that position?
Yeah.
Well, I think they're still trying to get reinforcements through the door. I don't think the Joel or Denez deal has been announced yet, has it? But it looks like they've hijacked Aston Villa's move for him. On the subject of Villa, you've talked about it already. Rafael Leao could well happen. Nicholas Jackson has completed his medical. I would expect an announcement that he's the latest incoming at Villa Park very soon. Are you happy with that?
Very happy, yeah. I think he's a top player.
Do you?
Yeah, I really do, yeah.
Do you?
And he's worked with Unai Emery.
Villarreal.
What do you call him?
Nicholas Jackson offside.
Why would you say that, Sam?
Because he's always offside.
Really? Emery can get that work on that.
Well, if anyone can get him to get that out of it. I'm actually...
When he's on his day, he's a good player.
If you remember, last season I said that he'd gone to the office and changed his name by Depol to Nicholas Jackson again after changing it briefly to Nicholas Jackson offside, because I felt that he was learning, and then they went off to Bayern Munich. So we didn't get
important pace in the side as well.
But yeah, listen, I like him. I do like him, but I feel like he's very raw. He's still a very young player. He was when he first joined
Misses
Chelsea.
chances, 25, isn't he?
A lot of chances. Yeah. But by now he needs to get that timing of his run right.
Agreed.
Because there's talent in there. There's no doubt about it, and you'll benefit from that if he's on form.
Yes.
Go on then, give us some championship names.
Ben Brereton Diaz seems to get a move every transfer window. He's going back to Sheffield United to go and play again with Chris Wilder.
Well, that Sheffield United story is an interesting one, isn't it, about the ownership and what's going to happen there.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. So a loan deal from Southampton. He did have interest from Stoke and Derby, but he's decided to go and play for Chris Wilder again. And I think in the next couple of minutes, Southampton will confirm James Ward-Prowse, the return of their prodigal son, on a 2-year contract from West Ham. I think that's a good move for Southampton. Not a great move for West Ham. They paid £30 million for him not that long ago, and they're getting less than $1 million back.
Yeah, but that's because him and Nuno, there's some problem there, isn't there? He went to Nottingham Forest, Nuno turned up, and he was bombed out of the squad.
He's only 31.
Came back to West Ham, and then Nuno turned up there, and he was out of the picture again. Poor lad. Anyway, right, okay, we'll have some cricket details for you in just a second. You're listening to Talk Sport. It's Sam Matterface and Alex Crook with Gabby Agbonlahor. Check out this month's real deals at selcobw.com. Ian, the Newcastle fan, says, gents, Gabby needs a reality check. Gabby made 3 appearances for England, scoring none, 0, nada. Nick Voltemada, 12 appearances for Germany, 4 goals. And Gabby has the audacity to have a pop at Big Nick. If you want to have your say, it's 81089 on the text, or 03717 223344.
got to stop you there, right? Because I've heard this guff from you and Gabby today, all right? Going on about Spurs overspending, overpaying for players.
Whoa,
all right?
wait,
And I can't believe Crookie has got the cheek to come on here as a Man United fan and say that Belieber's a good deal at 70 million. He was guff last season. He didn't play.
I think you'll find Belieber at 70 million is going to be better value for money than Savinho at 85.
Oh, mate, you're talking absolute crap.
I'll have a little bet for you. Let's have a little bet. Who has the better season?
You signed Anthony for 75 million. You sold Pogba for £100 million.
What's going on here? Why are you two falling out?
No, but
hold on, what's going on?
Because I keep hearing Crookie go on like Man United are doing good deals.
What's happening here? Why are you two
and
rowing?
Spurs are spending too much money on players. Like,
We'll have a
having a laugh.
forfeit at the end of the season, Jamie. Jason can judge at the end of the season whoever makes more impact for their club, Belieber or Savinho. The loser has to do a show. You do it in a United shirt. I'll
Hold
do
on,
it in a
Crookie.
shirt.
Savinho could score 25 goals this season, and Cundy will still say Belieber's had it.
Belieber's going to be the better player.
Belieber's
going to be the better player.
It's a pointless bet.
No, he will be.
I'm just sick to death of seeing Crookie come on, going on like Spurs, just because we've got cash to spend, right? And we're throwing it about, right? And everyone's getting yump about it.
Hold on.
You know what you are, Jamie?
What's
you know
going
what Tottenham
on?
are? You know when you're a kid and you get your first Saturday job, right? It could be at a supermarket, it could be in a restaurant, it could be in a bar, and you get your first pay packet and you spend it in 24 hours.
What's wrong with you two? Jay,
windows.
We've all done it, mate. Went out and bought Bentley with my signing on.
Jay, wait there. Hold on. Calm down, you two.
talkSPORT Sports Update with NordVPN. Now with built-in next-gen antivirus that automatically detects malicious links, websites and files.
12:02 here are your sports headlines. Former Spurs boss Tim Sherwood has told us Roberto De Zerbi's put himself under pressure to take the side back into Europe.
But it's encouraging that the club are just letting the manager get on with it. I can think of a lot of old ex-managers who would love to have the investment what this man's getting. You know, they're really helping him out. You know, they're splashing the cash left, right and centre.
Sherwood says it's right Spurs have splurged $350 million this summer following back-to-back 17th place finishes. Spurs host Newcastle tomorrow evening. Ollie Glasner won't comment on reports Nottingham Forest are after Crystal Palace's Daniel Munoz. We understand they've bid £22 million, but Glasner says Forest will add 2 more players and calls new arrival Liam Delap a perfect fit. As Moses Itauma continues his rise to the top of heavyweight boxing, former super featherweight world champion Barry Jones tells us Filip Hrgović is Itauma's toughest test yet.
We're in exchange with him. At the moment, he's definitely a Brighton player. I can't say anything more, so let's see what happens.
James Ward-Prowse is back at Southampton, the club where he played his academy football after 3 years away at West Ham. He signed a 2-year deal. And let's go to Lords and the cricket day 2 of a tit-for-tat test match so far. England have been bowled out. Sam Ellard, what kind of score have they got?
Yeah, 290. I think they'll be happy with that, given the fact they were asked to bat yesterday morning in tricky conditions. They were 36 for 3 early yesterday morning, so to get up to 290, they'll be happy with that, and they're there. Partly thanks to a really good 10th wicket partnership. In the end, it was worth 47 runs. Gus Atkinson at 8 played nicely, with the last wicket to fall for 45. The spinner, Usman Ali, into the attack. Atkinson looking to launch and bat down the ground, but picked out the fielder at long off. He goes to 45. Josh Tongue unbeaten on 30. England now ready to have a bowl at this Pakistan top order. England bowled out first innings for 290.
Thank you, Sam.
talkSPORT News.
Thank you, Sam Ellard. He'll keep us updated throughout the day. Overseas listeners can listen on talkSPORT YouTube channel, on the cricket YouTube channel, that is. The News 200 extra police have been drafted into Middlesbrough after 9 people have been killed in the past week. And Andy Burnham says he's going to crack down on cowboy builders. Emma has more on that at 12:30.
talkSPORT weather with Quick Fit.
Sort your new tyres this summer at a time that suits you best from the comfort of your home or work 7 days a week with our mobile tyre fitting service. Conditions apply.
Heavy rain affecting parts of Scotland and northern England. Elsewhere, showers becoming more widespread. Sunny spells as well. Breezy with average temperatures.
The 150th anniversary test match in Melbourne with Visit Victoria and the Barmy Army.
Yes, do you fancy an all-paid trip to Melbourne? 7 nights? Well, talkSPORT could be sending you and a mate down under in March. We're talking 7 nights in a hotel, return flights, spending money, a day trip along the Great Ocean Road, and you'll score 5-day tickets to the MCG to watch England take on Australia in the 150th anniversary test match. All thanks to our friends at Visit Victoria and the Barmy Army. For your chance to win, visit talksportwin.com and text WIN to 83338 by 6 p.m. on the 1st of September 2026. The text costs £2.50 plus your standard network rate. You can send your name and number by post to Comp2, PO Box 3190, Colchester CO2 8GP, to arrive by midnight on the 4th of September 2026. 18 plus, UK residents only. So for your chance to win what is going to be a fantastic trip, sounds like one of Crookie's Friday nights, 8338, text WIN now to that particular code, 8338. It's a network promotion. Full T's are available. T's and C's are available at talksportwin.com. Big news, Rangers and Celtic's punishment for Old Firm disorder at Ibrox this season. Both clubs have been ordered to play the next Scottish Cup home game behind closed doors. Also, Rangers and Celtic ordered to pay £100,000 to whoever the visiting club for the Scottish Cup fixture is because of a loss of ticket sales revenue. That being reported in Scotland in the last few minutes.
Scottish Cup. They're playing each other in the Scottish League Cup, aren't they? In a couple of weeks' time in September.
They are, but this is for the Scottish Cup, the version of the FA Cup in Scotland. So the next game there will be behind closed doors. Big games up and down the country this weekend in the Premier League as the second round of match days get underway. We start with Crystal Palace against Manchester City tonight, 8 o'clock, live on talkSPORT. Tomorrow at 3 o'clock, Adrian Durham will be taking you around the grounds, including to the Vitality Stadium, where David Moyes takes his Everton team. And earlier today, he was talking about building on that opening day win.
Well, we hope that we can follow up and do as well as we did last year away from home. The biggest pleasing part was, we always travelled with a great away support, big away support, and they got some really good days last year. So I hope we can continue it. I mentioned last week in the press conference about, can we improve our form at the Hill Dickinson and try and do better at home, which hopefully would get us a few more points as well. But obviously our away form last year was very good.
Tierno Barry getting a hat-trick in midweek. Opening day, scored a goal as well. That's exactly what they need. I saw a quote from him this week when he said, I need to have a big season. Started well.
And when you look at Barry and Beto last season, it was hard to choose which one was the better striker. But when you're looking at the first two games for Barry, took his goal against Crystal Palace excellently as well. Leaped, perfect striker header, great ball from NGI. And to get a hat-trick, it's going to give him a lot of confidence. I think Everton are really looking like a good side. If they can keep on to NGI, if Jack Grealish goes back there as well, which is looking likely. They've got a strong set of players. Garner was on the bench as well, wasn't he, against Crystal Palace?
He was a young player, isn't he, Tierno Barry? But it's great when you get off the mark early doors.
Oh, as a striker. That's all I used to ever think in the first game of the season. Can you get off the mark? Because when you go 3, 4, 5 games, you know what? Everyone starts saying, one of those seasons, he's not at it. The pressure becomes a lot on the striker. You have to get off the mark early. And to score 4 goals in 2 games will do him a lot of confidence. And David Moyes loves it when his striker is on form.
In a similar vein, actually, let's talk about Alvaro Arbeloa and his love for Gonzalo Garcia, a player that he bought with him from Real Madrid. also got off the mark on the opening weekend of the season when he scored Fulham's second goal against Chelsea on Monday night. And he was asked this morning in his press conference ahead of their trip to Sunderland how impressed he was with the fact that Garcia took so naturally to the league.
No, not for me. I know him since he was 17 years old. So I know his character, his winning mentality, his ambition, his qualities. I have been talking about him for many weeks. He's really powerful, he's strong, he's good with the ball, and obviously he's a goal scorer. So I know what he can do on the pitch, and what he's doing is what he's capable to do.
That's 2 o'clock on Sunday. We'll feature that in Game Day Live from Old Trafford.
I like him.
At 1:30. Who do you like? Garcia?
Yes. Scored last night, didn't he, as well?
He did?
Yeah, in the Carabao Cup. You always question a striker that's done it in a different league to the Premier League, especially La Liga.
He scored the World Cup.
Not as physical as the Premier League. So there were questions about him. But going from that first game, yes, Sanchez made it easy for the goal, but his hold-up play looked good. He was making good runs. Looks like he can finish as well. I think he'll have a good season. And they need someone to come in, especially replacing Jimenez.
I was actually really impressed by Agbonlahor and the way he spoke after the game.
Yeah, and I thought they played quite well, Fulham. Obviously, having picked him out as a team, maybe that could be dragged into the relegation fight. I thought it was quite a positive start, even in defeat. Like Gabby, I thought Garcia did well, grew into the game. Maybe Palacios in midfield looked a little bit lightweight, but perhaps that's to be expected.
Josh King looked very good, didn't he?
Yes, he did. And actually, one of the frustrations from Fulham fans under Marco Silva was that maybe Josh King didn't get the minutes that they felt he deserved.
He's keeping Emil Smith-Rowe out of the team.
Yeah, I think he's going to be a regular this season. I think he's going to have a...
Defensively, though, Sam, Fulham... light.
They were without Joachim Anderson because of a suspension, so Cuenca played him. He did struggle a little bit.
Castagna struggled as well a bit, didn't he? And then fullback.
They've still got Kenny Tete, obviously. Yeah. He was on the bench.
So we could be wearing a Fulham shirt, you reckon?
Well, obviously last week we went viral with that a guy who offered to have our names tattooed across his chest, which was brilliant. And I said I want them relegated for that reason, only for that reason, just to see it, because I want to see it. But I don't think that will happen. In which case, what we'll do, though, is we'll wait till around about March before we buy those shirts.
Do we have to buy them?
We're going to have to buy them.
No, I thought he was going to buy them for us to put on.
I don't think so, mate. I think we're going to have to...
We'll take it back. Keep the label on, Cookie. Take it back to the Fulham shop.
We must know someone at Craven Cottage.
You probably do. And if you don't, you'll find somewhere... hold on, aren't they Adidas? You know a lot of people at Adidas. Can't we get full...
Oh, yeah, they'll do that.
Yeah, we'll get full gear.
Consider it done.
Lovely.
I've already got 2 United shirts off Adidas this summer. Thank you very much.
The grifter continues. Talking of, I suppose, deals that have been done, Chelsea have finally done a deal for a front of shirt sponsor partner, beginning right now. Yes, the Circle Internet Group, who sort of like a payment system that you can buy for loads of different payment systems that you can use for companies, are going to sponsor them. I didn't say how long this...
1 year, I think.
1 year.
With the option to extend.
A year with an option to extend. And it means that they're going to have one of their companies, USDC, on the front of their shirts from, I suppose, I don't know if it'll be this weekend, but certainly their next available game.
No expense spared on that logo, Gabs.
It's just literally
cheap and cheerful.
I just don't get the fact that it's taken so long for Chelsea to have a front of shirts.
They've had this a few times now, haven't they, in recent years?
A few times?
Yeah.
It's like literally, I don't think they've had
holding out for bigger money, maybe
5 years. I think without a proper. I mean, bearing in mind this is a club that had Samsung and on the front of it for many years. They had obviously the Yokohama tyres deal, which was absolutely massive for them.
So important now, though, isn't it?
Great,
finances.
You know?
Did you see United got a ticking off over their shirts at the weekend?
Why?
Because they've not got a shirt sleeve sponsor. The Premier League rules are you have to have the Premier League badge on both arms. And they only had it on one.
Oh dear.
So they've had their collar felt, metaphorically, yeah.
Oh, bloody Glazers, nightmare.
Oh dear, they need to roll their sleeves up and get that sorted, that's for sure.
That wasn't the biggest problem last weekend, was it?
But you were buzzing off Man United pre-season, wasn't he, Sam? You were so happy, they looked great.
Until the Milan game.
Easy.
Until the Milan game.
Until Amorim ruined it for you?
We don't talk about him, do we, Gabby?
Ruben?
You know the rules.
Shall we talk about Crook's other love, Brighton and Hove Albion, who play Chelsea at the weekend? They take them on at 2 o'clock on Sunday. And one of the things that Fabian Hertzler has got his team doing is playing with a verve and a spirit, and he wants them to play every single game with aggression, courage and vigour.
One big phrase I always use, or this word, what you said, is courage. You need to have this courage to do this. Courage, to always be very, very humble, understand what it needs to be successful, but also have the courage and the belief in yourself, the belief in your teammates, the belief that we are a strong football team if you do the basic things right. And I think that's crucial in the mindset from the players. And we speak a lot about what happens on the pitch, but in the end, the mind plays a very, very important role in every player's career. If you have the right mindset, if you have the right confidence, the right belief, the right courage inside of you, then you can achieve great things.
Brighton had a little bit of a setback this morning when Jack Hinchelwood was ruled out for 6 weeks because of an injury. So he's going to be unavailable. Played so well in that game last week against Aston Villa. You're listening to talkSPORT. Sam Matterface, Alex Crook and Gabby Agbonlahor. We'll talk Moses Talma and Filip Hrgovic a little bit later on. Their huge IBF heavyweight world title bout is live on DAZN and talkSPORT this weekend. We'll discuss that next.
It's a win, Chaz.
Yeah,
but it is Charlton. Come on, that's not going to be the measure, is it? We're not going to find out too much about Spurs against Charlton.
No, we won't. But it just shows what the EFL Cup meant to Charlton.
Yeah,
they made 10 changes.
Yeah. Well, they were underdogs, and they went into it, and I suppose they're thinking, listen, we're not going to win it. Let's make sure, because promotion is the most important thing with Charlton. Like I said, unbeaten so far, so they're very much in the hunt for that promotion race. 03717 22 Charlie Austin, I'm Jason Cundy. Have you been to a game? Tell us what you've seen. Tell us what you've heard. Let's go straight to the lines. Let's go and speak to Trev, who's a Spurs fan. All right, Trev?
Trev? Hello, Jace. Spurs are back.
Spurs are back, Trev.
Spurs are back. Spurs are back. Definitely.
No, yeah.
Honestly, tonight, I know it was Charlton.
Trev, drop me out, mate.
But it's 5-1.
Trev.
Jace.
Trev. Trev. Trev.
Well, lovely.
Trev.
Yeah.
Come on, 5. Take the win, right? Go home.
Jace.
And go to bed. No, it's fine. The Spurs aren't back, Trev. Come on, mate. You lot were an absolute disgrace. No, you're not.
Wait till Saturday,
no,
chaps,
all serious.
Different Spurs side.
All right, so chaps, a different Spurs side from what we see Saturday evening, which was the same old Spurs. Then you've just beaten Charlton reserves / under 23s, and now all of a sudden Spurs are back. I don't see it.
Chaz, just wait until Saturday before you comment any further, please. Because honestly, you've got to give us a chance.
The England cricket team face Australia in the 150th anniversary Test match down under. And as always, the Barmy Army will be there. Thanks to talkSPORT, visit Victoria could be too. Enter now at talksportwin.com for the chance to score an incredible week-long trip for two to watch the 150th anniversary Test match in Melbourne. Visit Victoria and the Barmy Army. Enter now at talksportwin.com and get ready to experience the electric atmosphere that only a Barmy Army tour delivers.
It's talkSPORT, Sam Matterface, Alex Crook and Gabby Agbonlahor. We're watching the Europa League draw take shape now, because for Bournemouth, for Crystal Palace and for Sunderland, it's a big old morning. They're going to find out who they get. Brighton will find out who they get in the Conference League a little bit later on. But some great news coming out of the draw so far. Sunderland will be going to the San Siro to play AC Milan, and they will welcome AZ Alkmaar to the Stadium of Light. But I think probably the biggest news is that AC Milan have got to go to Bournemouth's Vitality Stadium. Yes, AC Milan down at the Vitality Stadium. Amazing. They're also, Bournemouth, going to go to Real Sociedad as well, away from home. One of two fixtures that we so far know.
How good for Bournemouth fans, though?
Great for Bournemouth, great for
Incredible.
Sunderland. I mean, what a fixture that is. To be playing AC Milan, it's brilliant, isn't it?
And Ruben Amorim, I'm sure he'll be welcomed in Bournemouth.
Because Bournemouth, that's on your patch, right? So you'll be doing that game, so you'll have to report on it. You'll have to say his name.
Luckily, we don't do post-match interviews, do we?
Oh, well, I think you should go to the pre-match press conference.
No, but brilliant draw. And they played on the South Coast not that long ago, Milan. Do you remember when they played Portsmouth?
Yeah, 2008.
Celtic Marseille at home.
Celtic Marseille
at home.
No, that's Marseille's fixtures. So is that?
It was Celtic away from Marseille.
Oh, was it at Parkhead?
Yeah,
okay,
so Celtic
interesting.
Marseille at home.
Interesting. Wow. So we got the opponents for the big hitters. That's what they were doing first. The top pot, which was Leverkusen, Benfica, Juventus, Milan, and the like. And that's why we found out only one or two of the opponents for Sunderland, for Bournemouth, and for Crystal Palace. Celtic are in pot 2, so they're about to find out all of their opponents in the not-too-distant future, but the others are going to have to wait just a little bit longer. I mean, it will be fantastic, won't it, to go down to the Vitality Stadium and have AC Milan there. For Stadium of Light. I mean, the Stadium of Light, right, you know, obviously, always great atmosphere anyway, but they'll be selling out there, won't they? For the
100%.
Whoever comes, it doesn't matter who it is.
It doesn't matter who it is.
But the idea that Sunderland fans are going to get to travel to the San Siro, I mean, it's iconic.
In any game they get, Sunderland fans are going to be thinking, like, okay, when will we be in Europe again? Just exciting for any fan base to be following your team abroad. Ask Crystal Palace fans. Ask West Ham fans in recent years as well, as Spurs and Villa.
And Brighton, when they were in the Europa League a couple of years ago,
Exactly.
they got some plum draws.
Yep.
It'd be interesting to see how Brighton get on in the conference.
They'll win it
this season. They should. I mean,
win it.
We always say that every year. They should win it, because the Conference League is that sort of competition where you expect the English team to thrive, and English teams have thrived in that. Obviously, Crystal Palace, the holders, that's why they're in the Europa League. But you know, it's quite taxing, isn't it, to travel on a Thursday and then to come back and play every Sunday? It's the Conference League's a little bit lighter. It's only 6 match days instead of 8, so that maybe helps a little bit.
And you can afford to rotate a little bit in the league phase, with the greatest respect in the world. If you're a team like Brighton, you don't need to play your big hitters, because there are teams there that you should be dispatching.
Do you see any of the Premier League clubs in the Europa League being one of the favourites to win it?
Well, I mean, the odds would suggest not.
No.
But quite interesting that Crystal Palace, after all of the ownership saga, which led them into the Conference League last year instead of the Europa League, are going, and remember John Textor was heavily involved in that, they're going to Lyon to play John Textor's Lyon. That is a grudge match.
That certainly is. Is that Celtic away from home against Benfica? Am I reading that right? Marco Silva's Benfica?
It could be. I don't know. I didn't see the graphic there. It's a bit confusing.
I think the further they get on in this tournament, though, you wouldn't put it past the Premier League clubs to become favourites if they all get past the group stage of it.
Well, this is where it gets interesting, because Palace, Bournemouth and Sunderland are now going to find out the rest of their schedule.
That is pot 3, which is about to come out, and it'll be fascinating to see who they all get. They'll be very excited about the possibility of some long...
Nobody's going to enjoy going to the Vitality.
No.
You
were involved in a draw yesterday. You saw Aston Villa's
Yes.
draw. They got quite a tough draw, didn't they?
They did, but every Aston Villa fan is buzzing with this draw.
Yeah.
You know, you got PSG at home. We already beat PSG 2 years ago, 3-2. Unlucky to get knocked out of the quarterfinal of the Champions League. But the standout game for me is Barcelona away. I mean, I will be going to that with my oldest son. We'll be going to watch that. Club Bruges as well.
A nice little trip.
Yeah, I loved going to Bruges last Champions League run as well. That'd be a nice trip for fans.
You've been to Prague?
Prague, that's one on the list as well, Crookie. But also Galatasaray
Here we go.
away.
Crystal Palace, Real Sociedad, Lyon, Sparta Prague, Salzburg, Lech Poznan, Jagiellonia, who knocked out Rangers, Hoffenheim, and Besiktas away for Crystal Palace. Milan at home for Bournemouth, Real Sociedad, Victoria Pilsen, Sparta Prague away, Sturm Graz, Celta Vigo away, Hapoel Beersheva at home, and Lillestrøm away. Sunderland,
not terrible for
Alkmaar at home, Milan away, Dinamo at home, Anderlecht away, Jagiellonia at home, Lech Poznan away, Levski Sofia at home, and Torrens away.
Where are they from?
They're from Portugal.
I don't know, Sam. Well, mate.
Put you on the spot there, didn't I?
That's why you asked, yeah.
So 2 trips to Spain for Bournemouth, Celta Vigo and Real Sociedad, and a trip to Norway as well.
Yeah, that's quite an interesting.
Well, if you look at all those games for the English teams, you'd back them to get through to the next stage.
Yeah,
I think you probably would.
Exactly.
Yeah, that's a fascinating draw for Bournemouth, isn't it? Some really good trips there for them, and it'd be interesting to see how they get on.
Do you think they'll be okay, Bournemouth, with 2 games a week, Crookie? Their squad now?
Well, they've kept the big hitters, haven't they? I mean, Junior Krupi is injured, but they were determined to keep him anyway. They've kept Alex Scott, they've kept Tyler Adams, they've kept Ryan.
Yep.
So, yeah, I think they'll be fine.
Okay.
And the appointment of Marco Rosa is a smart one because he's used to balancing the demands of European football with
was it
ambitions.
Was it Sunderland that are going to Rennes, or was it Bournemouth? I can't remember. It was only just a second ago. It came up very quickly.
I think it was Sunderland.
But Rennes are that Portuguese team, the cup winners. They're actually second division, aren't they? They're like a they're a second division club playing in
the Championship
football because they won the cup final.
That's a good draw for Sunderland.
So it's a really good draw, actually.
A bit disappointed, no Anglo-Scottish tie. Celtic have avoided all the Premier League clubs.
Yeah, it's a bit of a shame, isn't it, really? But they have. Celtic are going to Rennes, a bit like Sunderland, so that's quite interesting. I don't know. They're going to play somewhere else. They're going to play in where are they going to do? They're going to play in that stadium that you like, the Estadio Algarve in Faro.
Are they?
Sunderland and Celtic are getting a trip to the Algarve to play Rennes.
You like Sunderland, don't you? Great club.
Might put my hand up for that one.
Their stadium only holds 2,500 spectators.
That's more than enough, Crookie. Me and you slip into that one, Crookie. Lovely.
Yeah, we could do that.
Yeah, a bit of co-coms. The old Algarve.
Stay at Benty's place. It'll be available. We saved the company money on that one.
Jeff Stedding's got a place there. We not.
Exactly. If you want to react to that, not Crookie's Algarve boys trip that he's trying to organise, but the Europa League draw, then you can do 0371722 3344. There's been a wicket at Lords for talkSPORT's Sam Allard.
Yeah, early wicket for England and early wicket for Jofra Archer. Pakistan are 5 for 1. Shah Massoud goes for 1. Jofra Archer going over the wicket. It's a full ball angling it away from the left-handed batter. Poor foot movement from Shah Massoud, ends up just pushing the ball outside of his off stump and edges behind to Jamie Smith, who takes a simple catch. Early breakthrough for England. Shah Massoud goes. Pakistan 5 for 1.
Keep you updated on the rest of the developments at the UEFA draws. Today you've got the Europa League draw. We'll try and give it to you in a bit more of a formalised style in the next few minutes. We've got Conference League draw happening as well. And we're going to speak to Francis Warren, who is the manager of Moses Atalma ahead of his big world title fight tomorrow against Filip Hrgovic live at the O2 on talkSPORT.
Michael, where are you with Isak at this moment? I just think that particular penalty, Szoboszlai was always taking it, and likes of Isak had far more to lose than he had to gain by taking that penalty. But where are you with Isak at this moment in time? And he looks to me, he obviously had big injury problems and all that stuff. The move was well documented. You know, Newcastle fans are unhappy. What's it going to take for him to get playing with a regular confidence and show the ability that we know he has?
Well, I'm not sure about you, Ali, but I had plenty of injuries in my career, so I know how hard it is to get back, and you do need a bit of time. And everybody's given him time and understood that, but then he's sort of finished the season, then he's gone to the World Cup. And now he's had a pre-season, and you just think, okay, now we're starting to run out of excuses. We need to start seeing the real Isak, and we know how good he is. I mean, wow, we saw him for Newcastle. I mean, he's absolute class. But we haven't seen it for Liverpool just yet, and I think, questions will come now. As I say, always give him the benefit of the doubt in the past with Liverpool, but at the start of this season now we're expecting, and Liverpool absolutely need him. They've lost Salah, Ekitike's out, there's not that many options in attacking areas. They absolutely need him to be on top form. Yesterday he was far from it. I thought he was a yard off, and that's worrying. But so was Wirtz. I thought he was really quiet as well. So, it wasn't the greatest performance for Liverpool. They actually did well to scrounge a point in the end. But obviously he's the big money signing. He's headline maker. And I can't say he played well, because he really didn't.
talkSPORT News.
Good afternoon. With the latest news headlines, I'm Emma Smith. 200 extra police officers have been sent to Middlesbrough after a week of violence. A 7-year-old girl and her aunt died in a house fire on Wednesday after 7 others, including 2 police officers, died in a head-on crash. Labour leader of the local council, Alec Brown, says people are scared.
General, people in cars driving at speed. Again, this is speculation, whether there's a gang turf war. As you can imagine, if you were to lose 9 lives in your community, on your doorstep, you would feel unsafe in your own home.
Last night, a vigil was held for one of the 5 young men killed when their car crashed into a police vehicle. Flares were set off while cars and bikes revved across a field before 5 vehicles were set on fire. In other news, another lake has burst its banks on the Nepal-Tibet border, sparking fears of a second major flood. Nearly 500 people died in Wednesday's flooding. 33 British tourists remain missing, including a Surrey family and their 13-year-old daughter. Andrew and Tristan Tate will remain in a Miami jail for now, while trying to get bail. They've told a court they've lost everything as they fight extradition to Britain over allegations of rape and human trafficking. And Andy Burnham says he's going to crack down on cowboy builders to stop us getting ripped off. The Prime Minister's plans include a register of trusted traders.
talkSPORT Sports Headlines with Bostik. For professional-grade sealants with easy application and a perfect finish, pros trust Bostik.
Rangers and Celtic will both have to play their next home Scottish Cup tie behind closed doors following the violence that followed last season's quarter-final at Ibrox. And Jofra Archer has struck early at Lord's. Will Hasmore at 1.
Here's that. Next March, the England cricket team face Australia in the 150th anniversary Test match down under. And as always, the Barmy Army will be there. Thanks to talkSPORT, Visit Victoria could be too. Enter now at talksportwin.com for the chance to score an incredible week-long trip for 2 to watch the 150th anniversary Test match in Melbourne with Visit Victoria and the Barmy Army. Enter now at talksportwin.com and get ready to experience the electric atmosphere that only a Barmy Army tour delivers.
It's talkSPORT, Sam Matterface and Alex Crook and Gabby Agbonlahor. Francis Warren running a little bit late. He's in a meeting that's overrun. We'll try and get him in the next few minutes. The Conference League draw is happening. I'll try and get a recap of all the fixtures for you in just a second. But the good news is that talkSPORT's Predict 6 is back, where you can make 6 selections for a chance to bag a massive 50 grand, all for free. Gabby, Crookie, we're going to put you to the test and get your selections for this huge weekend of the Premier League. So, guys, first up, you need to choose 2 teams that will win from the select list of games. So here are the games. 4 fixtures: Bournemouth, Everton, Coventry, Hull, Chelsea, Brighton, Leeds, Brentford. 2 teams each. Go.
That was very quick, Sam.
We weren't listening. Is that what you're saying?
Pick 2 teams.
2 teams from these 4 fixtures: Bournemouth, Everton, Coventry, Hull, Chelsea, Brighton, Leeds, Brentford.
Hull, Chelsea.
Hull and Chelsea for Crook. Yeah, and for Gabby.
I like Frank Lampard. I'm going to go for Coventry and Chelsea.
Coventry and Chelsea. You've both gone Chelsea to beat Brighton on Sunday.
I think so.
Why are you so confident about that?
Well, front 3.
Right, yeah.
Palmer, Rodgers, they're going to have a great relationship. I think João Pedro's got a point to prove, especially to Ancelotti after leaving him out of the World Cup.
It's good to see Rodgers prospering at a big club, isn't it? Fair play to him.
No comment.
Chelsea can't keep the door shut. 17 league games without a clean sheet, their longest run for 35 years. Brighton have beaten Chelsea 3 times running, scoring exactly 3 goals each time. West Ham in the early 70s were the last side to do so 4 in a row.
And also they've got Reece James and Lavia.
Solid midfield.
Yes.
Yeah. And the boy, Barco.
Yeah.
Hold on a second.
He was really good last
Hold on
night.
a second.
very
Really
good.
You two trying to jibe me about my team that have managed to win 2 games out of 2. You got pumped 2-0 by Hull City on the opening day of the season, and you lost 4-0 away at Brighton. Why are you even talking?
10 men.
10 men. You were 4-0 down.
What can we get 4 in the second half? We drew the second half. Great result. And we had Ross Barkley leading the line.
The way you're playing at the moment, you couldn't get 4 in August.
You must be worried about Monday.
You're not going to Villa Park on Monday, Sam? Do you not?
I am.
You're going to be using the press box for our lovely food that we offer?
So you want me to lie about the prospects of your team?
Are you there Monday in the posh seats?
Are you?
No, I'm not there, mate. No.
No, couldn't be bothered.
No, I'm scared.
What are you scared of? Arsenal.
I'm scared of Arsenal, yeah. So I'm hiding at home watching it.
Do you know what's really interesting? You know, we're talking about all the great atmospheres, and he went, "Oh yeah, I remember when I played when I was with Aston Villa at Wembley, and the Crystal Palace fans. I was above them." And I was thinking to myself, so where does that mean you were sitting?
In the posh seats.
In the posh seats in the Club Wembley, not with the fans.
No, I was working.
Were you?
Yes.
Were you? Where were you working?
Indeed. At Wembley for the game.
Who for?
I was working for the FA, yeah.
Oh, yeah, in where?
Yeah, FA, Sam. I was
In
working
Club Wembley?
Yeah, but I was working. I was just shaking hands. Getting to know Villa fans. It was a really, really lovely evening.
Next up, it's the correct score from the Spurs versus Newcastle tomorrow at 5:30. Jamie O'Hara will be on air during that game again, which will be interesting. And we want the correct score from Ipswich trip to Manchester United at Sunday, 4:30. So, Gabby?
2-2.
Spurs versus Newcastle. Can you just wait till we
Sorry.
shout out?
Sorry, I was excited.
Spurs versus Newcastle, Gabby.
2-2.
Okay. And Crookmeister?
I'm going to agree with Gabby. 2-2 at Tottenham and 2-1 United in the Ipswich game. In fact, go 3-1. I'll be a bit bolder.
Hold on a second. I'll ask for those games. We're doing Spurs
on one
versus
game.
Newcastle.
Oh, sorry. 2-2. Same as Gab's.
Crikey, you're so indisciplined and so rushed. We're trying to get things moving. Well, have you got a train to catch or something?
I have, yeah.
And what about Manchester United versus Sunderland,
Oh,
Gabby?
I thought you might ask about
Manchester United versus Ipswich Sunday.
I'm going to go with Manchester United to win 3-1. You know, they're just such a talented group of players, you know, and it's a new Manchester United now.
Yeah, Ipswich fan who might work on a big show on this network in the mornings suggested that he was a little bit unsure as to how well they were going to do this season. They played well, but he thought they maybe got a little bit overexcited. So what do you think?
Well, I said 2-1, didn't I, to BetMGM, so I'll cover 3-1 as well for purpose.
So you're just copying Gabs?
I said 3-1 before he did, if you remember.
And finally, on Monday, Villa versus Arsenal, live and exclusive on talkSPORT. I need the correct score and the first goal scorer, please, gents. Gabby?
Okay, first goal scorer, I'm going to go John McGinn.
John McGinn, first goal
What's
scorer.
funny about that, guys?
Oh, you just said you were scared. You just said you were scared of Arsenal.
Yeah,
go on.
I think Arsenal win 3-1.
See,
they should win 3-1 because of the amount of money they spend and the quality of the players that they've got. And Aston Villa having a rebuild, very difficult game for Aston Villa.
Yeah, 15 league wins at Villa Park, the most at any away venue for Arsenal.
I was going to go 3-1, but I'll go 2-0 to be different. I think they will win Arsenal with a little bit in hand. We go Ødegaard.
Did you go 2-0, did you?
Yeah, 2-0 Ødegaard.
2-0.
But they shouldn't they, Crook, the talent they've got in their squad, to keep hold of their biggest players as well and not have to sell them.
Villa have drawn blanks in 5 of their last 6 August league games, and Emery has lost exactly half of his 16 August matches in the competition. That game's live on talkSPORT. So that's it. 6 selections could land you at home a whopping 50 grand. If you want to play that game, then you can just head to talksport.com/predict6 and make your entry. That's talksport.com/predict6. Good luck to everyone.
talkSPORT Predict 6.
Right, okay, let's talk about Enzo Maresca, who has been discussing new acquisitions. He actually said this week, and I think we can hear from him now, that I want to sign a captain.
Yeah, we have experienced player. For sure we have a leader. Now we need to wait 4 or 5 more days when the window transfer close, also to see if we can add 1 or 2 more captain to Ruben and Erling, that at the moment are the 2 captain. But again, it's young squad, and also we have some experienced player.
Enzo, how important is it that you sign at least 1 more experienced player for the middle of the pitch between now and the deadline?
It's not about experienced player. I said many times that for me, age does not open or close door. Depends how good they are. You know very well that in my former club, we had the youngest squad in the history of the Premier League. And here we are in this moment quite young in terms of squad, but we have also players that they have the right experience.
That's Enzo Maresca. Is he going to buy Enzo Fernandez and make him one of the captains?
That would be the obvious choice, wouldn't it? Obviously, he had him as one of his captains at Chelsea. I think that deal is going to happen, and they need a little bit of leadership. So yeah, I think that would make sense.
Can you buy leadership and import it into the dressing room?
Yes, you can. You look at the past of a player. You look at maybe Enzo Fernandez. Has he been a leader at Chelsea? You could say he has at times. But definitely, if you look at a player having leadership qualities, that's what managers look in every player. But Manchester City need more than one captain. They need captains all across the pitch. Donnarumma, captain material. Ruben Diaz, captain material. Is Elliot Anderson one day captain material?
They've lost a lot of experience, haven't they?
Of course they have.
Look at John Stones and Bernardo Silva, Rodri, obviously.
Yeah. They'll be fine, Manchester City.
Yeah, Nathan Ake as well, part of that group that have departed. They do need a little bit more experience in that reign. They fielded the club's youngest opening day 11 since 2008 in that 2-1 win over Bournemouth on Sunday, and he is keen to bring in more leaders. We're just getting into the Conference League draw, and Brighton about to find out who they're going to face in the group phase of the Conference League. Crystal Palace's Europa League fixtures look like this. Real Sociedad at home, Lyon away, Sparta Prague at home, Red Bull Salzburg away, Lech Poznan at home, Jagiellonia away, Hoffenheim at home, Besiktas away, which will be a great one. I don't know if you've ever been to the Besiktas Stadium. It's right on the water in Istanbul. A fantastic place to go. Let's have a look, see if we get any more of those fixtures. I mentioned earlier on about Bournemouth and their fixtures. They're playing, they've got to go to the San Siro, the Black Cats for Sunderland, they've got to go to the San Siro. The Cherries are hosting the Vitality
Monaco
Stadium.
coming to Brighton.
Away from home. They're going to, so Brighton going to welcome Monaco. Yeah, we'll do that in just a second. We'll see if we can get the other fixtures for Bournemouth and for Sunderland as well, because those two teams, I think, are very excited about the prospect of having AC Milan on their fixture list.
Yeah, just getting instant reaction from senior people at Bournemouth. They're quite excited, as you say, by the prospect of Milan, a trip to Sociedad, and also that trip to Lillestrøm seems to have sparked their attention as well. So a good draw all round. A couple of big hitters in Milan and Sociedad, but some winnable games as well.
Bournemouth versus AC Milan. Who's favourites?
Well,
this isn't AC Milan of old.
No. The manager's
your favourite manager as
well. They beat Manchester United the other week, didn't they?
Yeah, friendly. I think Bournemouth beat them at home.
Yeah?
I do. I think Bournemouth are a very good side.
Interesting. Okay,
It'll be a great night down at the Vitality.
Exactly. Yeah.
Live on talkSPORT too, I'm sure.
Yeah. Let's do it quickly.
Bournemouth have got Milan at home, Real Sociedad away, Victoria Pilsen at home, Sparta Prague away. That's a good trip. Sturm Graz at home. Celta Vigo. Have you ever been to Celta Vigo?
I haven't.
Up in the Basque Country. I think that is right at the very top, or it's definitely right at the very top of Spain. Unique little venue. Manchester United played there 2017 in the Europa League. Beersheva, the Israeli team coming.
They knocked out Southampton a few years ago.
I remember I was down at St Mary's. That's when Whispering Claude
he was in
picking
charge.
half teams for Europa League games. Sunderland, AZ Alkmaar at home, Milan away, Dinamo at home, Anderlecht away, so they go off to Belgium. Jagiellonia at home, Lech Poznan away, a trip to Poland, and Levski Sofia at home, and that interesting trip to the Algarve to take on Turin's as well, which will be fascinating.
We can do the show from there on the Friday morning.
Sounds like a great idea. We like the idea of that. I would love to go to Thun. Have you ever been to Thun?
Never been there.
In Switzerland, it's a beautiful place, one of the most beautiful places in the world. So if Brighton can draw them, that would be lovely.
Well, this is Brighton's draw.
This is Brighton's draw coming up, but I think they're the last team in that pot. So we'll go to the break and then, oh no, it's come up. Monaco at home, Panathinaikos away, Kraviovia, which is Poland at home, Getafe away, Kalno Zigaris, which I think is Lithuanian. They're coming to the Amex, and away at Jablonec, who just knocked out Rangers last night.
That's a good draw for Brighton. They
comfortable.
They should top the league phase with that draw.
Panathinaikos away, great game as well. That'd be superb. The stadium's really good. Fans are wonderful. Monaco at home is quite nice.
Yeah.
Good glamour sort of fixture, isn't it? Probably the biggest glamour tie you can get.
Think Brighton fans would probably prefer a trip to Monte Carlo.
Prefer it to be swapped. What, than Athens? Is that what you're saying?
The Monaco coming to the Sussex Downs.
Oh, there you go. So Monaco, Panathinaikos, Craiovia, Getafe on the list for Brighton and Hove Albion, who seem to have got quite a good draw. This is talkSPORT with Sam Matterface, Alex Crook, and with Gabby Agbonlahor and Selco Builders Warehouse. It's where the trade go.
Agbonlahor, right, Gabs?
Gabby!
Jamie, what you on about,
the Villa.
You're just jealous, mate. I've been hearing you all day.
What are you on about?
You're talking guff, mate. Just because you're jealous.
What are you on about?
You're jealous.
How can you finish 17 2 years in a row and spend half a bill?
Because we got the cash, Gabs.
Yeah, but that ain't fair, mate.
See? Jealous.
It ain't fair, Cundy.
No, I agree. Do you know what? I agree with Gabby on this. I totally agree with him.
No.
This has got no. I'm not picking.
And we can't flipping spend.
I'm not picking sides. I'm telling you now. Villa and Newcastle should be able to spend.
Cry me a river.
Cry
me a river.
Jay, listen.
Thank you, Cundy.
I totally agree with him.
Gabs?
Totally agree with him.
Stop crying, mate.
Jamie.
Stop crying,
Totally
mate.
agree with him.
Stop crying.
Jamie.
Gabs.
You're signing rejects from Manchester City.
Good players,
is
mate.
unwanted. Savino's a reject. Robertson's a reject from Liverpool, not wanted anymore. Conor Gallagher's a reject from Atletico Madrid. Spurs are signing rejects.
Hold on a minute. You sold 5 of your best players. All right, you're absolute guff this season. Oh, the rules! Oh, the rules! I thought you was a big club. I thought you was a big club.
Well, we are a big club, but
you're
the
not,
rules don't let us.
You're not, though.
Because you and your cartel, top 6, you and Cundy, don't want Villa in there.
Don't bring me into this. I have nothing to do with this, Gabby.
Mate, keep you out of it. Only big boys allowed in the top 6, mate. You're not big. You have to sell your best players. We don't have to sell our best players.
17th, right, and go and spend £500 million.
Because we're a big club, Gabs. Stop whinging.
How's that? Next March, the England cricket team face Australia in the 150th anniversary Test match down under. And as always, the Barmy Army will be there. And thanks to talkSPORT, Visit Victoria could be too. Enter now at talksportwin.com for the chance to score an incredible week-long trip for two to watch the 150th anniversary Test match in Melbourne with Visit Victoria and the Barmy Army. Enter now at talksportwin.com and get ready to experience the electric atmosphere that only a Barmy Army tour delivers.
It's talkSPORT. It's Sam Matterface, Alex Crook and Gabby Agbonlahor. Tomorrow night, Moses Atalma faces Filip Hrgovic at the O2 for the vacant IBF heavyweight world title, live on DAZN and talkSPORT. Atalma unbeaten at 14-0 with 12 knockouts. We're looking forward to having that fight live tomorrow on talkSPORT. Let's have a look forward to the big fight ahead of the weekend's big bout with DAZN.
Big fight build-up on talkSPORT with DAZN. Tomorrow night, witness history as Moses bids to become Britain's youngest ever heavyweight world champion. Exclusively on DAZN Saturday Fight Night.
Let's speak to his manager, Francis Warren, who joins us now. Hi, Francis.
How you doing, guys?
Yeah.
Sorry I'm a bit delayed.
No, don't worry about it. Thank you very much.
Up at the weigh-in and the rules meeting, so it's a bit full on at the minute.
What happened at the rules meeting? Is there anything come out of it that we should know about?
No, all the rules. We all know all the rules. The gloves are all done. So all that's left to do is for the guys to get it on tomorrow night. So we're very much looking forward to it.
Yeah, we certainly are. I mean, should we be framing this fight as a British boxing procession to anointing its new king, or is everyone getting a little bit ahead of themselves going into the fight when it comes to Moses Atalma?
I think with any fight, there's jeopardy, and I think Filip Hrgovic brings massive jeopardy tomorrow night. He's extremely experienced. He's been there and done it and mixed it with some of the best in the world. And he only got that loss against Daniel. He professes to have never been knocked out. Obviously, he got stopped by Daniel, but only on a cut. So he feels like he's almost unbeaten in a way, and he thinks that he's the guy to stop, as you said, the procession of the Moses Atalma runaway train. But I'm obviously going to back my man.
Yeah.
And it's not just because I'm his manager. It's just because based on my boxing experience, he has all the natural ability plus dedication, hard work, determination, and that elite level concentration to execute a game plan under pressure that only the very, very best have got. And there will be no stone left unturned in his training camp. And I firmly believe that you're going to see something very, very special tomorrow night, and something that you've never seen before from Moses Atalma, which is to rise to the occasion at world level.
Moses is very calm, isn't he, in press conferences? But I've been seeing a few clips of Hrgovic trying to wind him up, maybe being a bit spicy, calling him a little boy, and that is just hype. Is Moses the sort of guy that just does his talking in the ring and will do that tomorrow night?
I think I got drawn into something yesterday at the press conference with Filip, and Moses actually gave me a nudge and went, "Just leave it." So that's how level-headed he is. He's a guy that just does his talking, through his business, and he says he's very smart with what he says, and I think Filip's quite forefront on his ability, trying to wind Moses up. We've all seen that this week, and Moses hasn't bit, and I think he's probably fired a few shots backward, but in a much smarter way. So, I think he's got under Filip's skin this week.
Interesting. I wonder whether or not if British boxing actually needs Moses Atalma to sort of come through this fight and become the new figure to hang its hat on? I mean, because we haven't really had a successor to Fury and Joshua who's stepped up to take that mantle. Could he be that person?
Well, I think it represents a whole new genre of fighter that and sportsman that boxing has been crying out for. He's a blue chip guy with I don't know, maybe with that aggression that everyone can appreciate, because it still keeps you consistent with boxing. But he certainly is a blue chip prospect. He's sponsored by Nike. He's the only definitely the only boxer in the world that's sponsored by Nike and a Nike athlete. His face is on the Oxford Street, New Oxford Street store. So that tells you what sort of public figure he is and could develop him to be over the next few years. But all that will be on his mind, he'd turn up tomorrow in his training kit. There's no doubt about that. He's fully committed to becoming the face of boxing, the face of sport. But I don't think it will just be through boxing. I think he's got such a wide demographic appeal. He's he's British by Slovakian by birth, represents Great Britain, and he's got a Nigerian heritage. He represents a multicultural society that Britain has become, and he's the guy. He's a testament to what you can do through hard work, dedication, and dreaming big.
Excellent. Thank you very much, Francis. Appreciate you coming on. It's a busy day for you. Good luck tomorrow. Enjoy the fight. It's going to be a great fight. That was a look ahead to Atalma versus Hrgović with DAZN. Join DAZN Ultimate for 185 plus fight nights and 12 plus pay-per-view every single year, including Atalma versus Hrgović and Ryan Garcia against Conor Benn, all included at no extra cost.
Big fight build-up on talkSPORT with DAZN tomorrow night. Witness history as Moses bids to become Britain's youngest ever heavyweight world champion. Exclusively on DAZN Saturday Fight Night.
Enjoy relaxing by the beach this weekend?
No, I'm staying at home.
Are you?
Buzzing. I was what, Crook, you didn't want a boxing question then?
We ran out of time, unfortunately.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I was going to ask him about the fact that Hrgović has been knocked down and obviously Matterface hasn't. Would that give Hrgović?
No, you're boxing as well.
Yeah,
what doesn't he know?
All over it, mate. All over it.
Are you winding him up?
No.
What are you up to this? You're going to Coventry, then you're coming over, aren't you?
Yeah, being sent to Coventry tomorrow, joining you at Old Trafford on Sunday, and you'll come here full English on Monday.
You're staying over my gaff on Sunday night, aren't you?
Bringing the family.
Yeah, looking forward to that. That'd be good. We'll do the Premier League All Access podcast from the little basement downstairs.
Great pod.
Thank you very much, Gabby. And then Monday, Aston Villa versus Arsenal for me. I've got a busy old weekend. Looking forward to it. Excited. Lots of live football on talkSPORT starting tonight. Coventry tomorrow for Crookie, but tonight's Crystal Palace against Manchester City live on talkSPORT. Commentary starts at 8 o'clock with Joe Shannon and Martin Keogh. Make sure you're around for that. H&J next.
The only ones that don't ever work.
Fine. There's another fine.
It's amazing.
Every time, please. There you go. Every time.
Hold on.
He's going in a WhatsApp group. We set one up. Every time these fines come into the play.
So good.
Right, we're having night out in December. One lucky listener of the Sports Bar will be able to come on the night out and spend Cundy's cash.
Hold on. I can't believe I've just seen the Ange mask.
Fine.
Can't happen, mate. Can't happen, mate. It can't happen.
We will
the Chelsea's mentioned too. This is disgusting. Sandbags gear as well. Who done this? Who's right?
I've sat down with management.
No, you haven't.
I have.
There's no way management involved in this.
I sat down with management.
I tell you, right, late to the office.